welcome.
You are very welcome.
You are most welcome.
Welcome to the cult, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the fucking show.
How to use a fucking elephant. Oh my god, this is not good. There's spray right here. I'm getting you up.
Yeah,
get the other
there's
people
meat
up.
right next to you. There's meat right next to you on the ground.
This is gonna, then we're gonna rip out. I'm grabbing that spray.
Grab all my guns.
Yep.
Eat that steak.
Oh wait, where's the
Lyndon,
rift?
Alright.
Where's the rift?
Alright, do I got
Where's the
other
rift?
cards? Do I got other cards? Lyndon, there's more med spray right there.
Fuck.
And we're gonna
I've
rip
got
out
it.
of here, okay? Grab all
Okay.
the guns, stuff you need. Don't rift yet, damn it!
What?
He already ripped it.
You said we're gonna rift out of here.
We're gonna
I've
rip
got
out
it.
of here, okay? Alright, I'm coming.
Oh.
I got the thing.
Oh, because I
I
should
was
have
like,
used my.
I was like, grab the weapons. I'm coming to you.
So remember all the advice we gave you?
Oh, I
You
just
took
watched
none of
Lyndon fall. I think I got both of them. I don't know. I had to run in the rift because somebody used the rift. I was like, get the guns, make sure we get the cards, and we'll rift. then I go in the rift and I just watch Lyndon fall from the sky.
We gave you 5 directions. They end in rift, and you'll hear, "Oh, rift."
That's what I heard. I was like, okay, rift. We're gonna rift. I was like, okay.
We're gonna
I've
rift
got
out
it.
of here, okay? Don't rift yet, damn it!
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
What is going on? Oh, it's been a while since I've been able to do that full intro, but we are back. We are back. Was a bit from the hangover. We are back. We are getting Doug back, and actually, I think I did that over in Vegas. I think I did that. It's been a while. Oh, Vegas. So that trip went like that, but it was amazing, absolutely amazing, as we saw Jay say. To see everyone, it was a bit of a fuck around getting all the way over there, and then as you saw in my, anyone watched the vlogs I uploaded, what happened with getting to Hawaii and everything. So there's a few niggles here and there, but overall, it was pretty awesome to see everyone. That meetup, the day of the meetup was unreal. See everyone. People in the chat, Shawnee, fucking ledge. I got to meet Shawnee. That was so cool. It was what, like 700 people or something like that over the day. That was pretty gnarly. Might have a look at some clips and stuff, but getting to see everyone, see all the G&G house, hanging out with them, it was pretty fun. Who else? Hanging out with Blabs at Universal was awesome. That was fucking awesome. She's pretty cool. I think I made Lethal a bit jealous though, hanging out with Blabs. But anyway, let's see who's here. Skimitar's got to work today. No worries. Thank you. We'll see this on the replay. He'll get some clips maybe for a full Aussie intro. We got full Aussie tomorrow night, I think. I haven't been there for a while because I've been in America, obviously. Dan Blackroad will not tolerate any fish nonsense after what they put me through with that fucking fish hat. Ooh, do you guys want the fish hat? I might get it a bit later if you say yes. Maybe for a super chat. Oh, man himself, Lethal. I hope you're happy with the stuff I got you. The G&G hat, G&G shirt. Hope it fits well. It was a medium. We'll see what happens. Teresa's here. How you doing, Teresa? Lovely Teresa. Miss Martin Muses. Look at that. Always a rose. I love the rose. I love the rose. Glad you're here. Speaking of Shawnee, fucking legend. So cool to see him, hang out with him at the meetup, and then after at the City Walk, after Universal City Walk. We got a little story for that as well. I had 1 hour sleep in like the 2 days, that one and day before, so I was fucked, which you can see in the videos. And I think Blab, I don't know if Blab's put it on Insta, but I was just like leaning on it. I was like so fucked. I hadn't slept. How you doing, mate? Nah, haven't got a haircut yet either. Go fuck yourself. Looks like you haven't either. And you haven't even, you know. What's up, Yellow Flash? Fucking legend. Gatekeep Mozza. Gatekeep Mozza. I don't know what this is about, but I'm 100% for it. Anything that is anti-Mozza is 100% positive to me. Yeah. I think because he's a Queenslander. That's it. That's it. How you doing? Discount Nemo. Yeah, it was. It's a Nemo hat that they got me. And I'm like, oh, fish, of course. Fucking hell. Wakanda forever saved Africa. Yeah, I got a few comments on the Twitter saying I'm being held hostage or something else. No, I actually really fucking loved it. Really did. Sure, there was a couple of things that's like Riri is OP as fuck. I'm like, and she's only there to connect a couple of things. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. Queensland shit, 100%. Thank you very much. What's up, Rachel? Got to hang out with Rachel as well. I don't know if the Twitch stream's still there, but I know Scimitar has it. And I think he used it for an intro, maybe. I knew that was going to happen. How are you? What's up, Forever Sci-Fi? Should have stuck around and gone to Buffalo and experienced a 3 to 6 foot snowfall. No. I'm good with the Hawaii and Orlando and Vegas, where Vegas was hot in the first couple of days, and then I got to Wednesday, Thursday. It was either the Friday night or the Saturday night. I think it was the Friday night. It got really windy and really cold, and I was like, "Ooh, shit!" Almost needed a jacket. It was getting that cool. Basically, the wind chill as well. But hanging out with I'm looking at the thumbnail there. Biggles, hanging out with Biggles, and Rachel did point out that in one of the photos I was kind of fucked up. Hey, it's Vegas. I was happy to be there. Hanging out at Planet 13, man. Oh, unreal. That place is unreal. Just wall to wall weed. I was like, yes, this is my kind of place. It was a shame I didn't get to catch up with Ords. He had some things to do, but that would be cool. If I can go hang out with Ords at a shop, that'd be awesome. You got banned from Twitter? Oh yeah, Lethal got banned from Twitter because I don't follow him and he called me out. Queensland's where the Nancy boy plays. Queensland, yes, that is. Yep, up there. That's where Moz was at. Apparently, it's a massive state. It's like the Florida of Australia, but it's a lot bigger. So yeah, that explains it. That explains Moza, the Florida of Australia. We have more snow than the Swiss Alps. You're off your fucking head, mate. Have I seen snow in person? Yes, I've been to the snow. Actually, I've been to the snow in the Swiss Alps. Funnily enough, I went snowboarding in Switzerland, and I've been to the snow here in Australia 3 times. 3 times. What qualifies as really cold? For me, like 10 degrees Celsius. But then Rachel's like, that ain't cold. She sends me a picture of snow. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't care. It's cold for me, all right? So, yes, that's what cold for me is. I am happy. I am happy, very happy. How you doing, Wicked? Holy shit. Got to hang out with Wicked at the meetup and after City Walk. Hit us with the Eshe bar. That was fucking awesome. Legend, Wicked. All right. Actually, is there anything I can... So, let me think. Let's try and recap it. It went like crazy. So 14. The first flight wasn't too bad actually because I got an exit seat. So I was sitting next to kind of 2 smaller women. So I was like, okay, cool. How the fuck did you get the exit seat? When they're like, are you able to help in an emergency? I'm like, this tiny women, like, how the fuck are they going to be able to lift the emergency handle? And it's like, okay, but that was good. I had a lot of room, but I just couldn't sleep because right next to me was where all the air hostesses and people, they hang around for their breaks and just talk shit. I'm like, stop turning the fucking light on. I'm trying to sleep, all right? So I didn't get really much sleep for 2 days on the way over. What's up, Sub? I got to meet Subhuman too. I'll pull up the photos and everything. That was awesome. Met Sub. I was like, I know the face as soon as I saw him because I'd seen like already, I don't know, 100. I think it was at the second one. So I'd already seen like over 100 or something people. And I knew the face at the time, but the lack of sleep and just that many people, I was like, he's like, do you know who I am? I'm like, I fucking know the face. Just tell me the name. And he's like, Sub. I'm like, Sub! Fucking awesome. That was so funny. I think the moment, okay, the one moment that was the best moment that you could have caught on camera, which Rogue Attraction was like, he was looking at the front door, and the exact second that Johnny walks in and I saw him and I was like, Johnny, and then we hugged and he just turned the camera to the other way and he was looking at the bartenders. I'm like, you missed the moment by this much. Oh, well, anyway, that was it. I've got the memory. It's all good. Haven't seen real snow. What's up, Kitty Bear? Haven't seen real snow in 2 decades. 2 to 5 centimeters doesn't count. Okay. Yeah, we get a bit, but mostly what's happening now is a lot of fucking flooding. A lot of flooding. Like, our country towns are fucked. Absolutely fucked. So this is what, 4 years in a row now, I think. It's getting really bad over here. Really bad. Okay, Daniel told you. No worries. Laughing at, yep, we had a good time. Fucking Biggles had a few drinks. Hey, I met Biggles in Vegas, so I knew he was kind of like, dude, if you saw the stream or you saw him trying to talk to girls, get me to talk to girls while I was like live streaming, I'm like, dude, I'm fucking live. I'm not gonna stand around and talk. Oh shit. It was good fun though. 10 degrees, that's t-shirt weather. I know. I was at the G&G house. I was in the fucking pool swimming, and Jay's sitting in a freaking jumper. He's like, I'm a bit chilly. I'm like, okay, strange. -10 is a nudie run outside. One of my mates actually did that when we were at the snow years and years ago. We were all having a boys' weekend down the snow. And we were like, you had to run across to the other like cabins and then touch the door and then come back. It was fucking funny. But you know what the good thing is when it is snowing and you don't have a fridge, you grab the beers, get on the beers, you grab the beers, put them in the snow outside, and they were fucking cold. So that was perfect. That was actually perfect for them because they were drinking the beers. I think I just put a couple of cans of Coke out there or something. So that's actually a positive when you don't have a fridge. Should have got more sleep. Yeah, but fuck it. I was streaming. I was happy. I was doing too much other stuff. All right. 2 to 5 centimeters doesn't count. Sorry. I think he's live now. Someone should screenshot that right there and just fucking tag the cunt. And they'll be like, check your Twitter, you dog. Cut your hair, you hippie. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. We're just going after the jailer. I don't know what you're talking about. Wow. I don't know if I could get it down to there. Put down. Nah, I think by the time the next one, I don't know if we'll be able to travel to America again, honestly, that quickly. It's a really fucking long flight for me. 14 hours to LA, a couple of hours in the airport, and then another. If you went from LA to Orlando straight, fuck. That's probably, 6? So it's 20. It's just a bit less than going to London from here. It's only a few hours less than London. It's nuts. Surprised you didn't come back with a full mullet. Thought it was required. I did have a braid, though. I did have a Padawan braid for a bit when I was over there because X-Ray Girl said she was going to braid it, and she did. And then even Steph braided it, my hair and Blab's hair. And then we looked like twinses. Let me see if I can pull up some stuff because I did. You know, it'd be quicker. Go to the media tab on Twitter. That's quicker. And then there was the G&G Clips channel where X-Ray Girl's fucking face, man. When she did the braid, her face. Oh my god. I'm gonna bring it up. Oh yeah, that was the hike, Mountain Dew on a balcony. Now Mountain Dew, I tried that watermelon one. It was so goddamn sweet. I was like, I took one sip, it's too much, man. But the voltage, I put that in the video. The voltage, Mountain Dew. Oh, I wish we had that here. Code Red tastes like Dr. Pepper. It can go in the bin, and it's disgusting. But let's pull up a couple of things here. Let me do it. Share. Let me put the audio on just as because I'll go through a couple of things. But that was cool, man. Sitting with Jay after the meetup happened. Mr. Canadian Bear, Drunk 3PO. I think he's got a check mark now, doesn't he? Oh yeah, he's so I'll tell you something. I don't know if he's put it out on Twitter, but he was saying he's not happy because he's got all these emojis stuck now for Thanksgiving in his bio, and he can't change them because if he changes his name, he loses his check mark or something. And I'm like, well, that's what you get. You fucked up. Even Steph got a check mark now. It's very funny to see who's got how many people got check marks and everything now. Just do the meetup in Australia. That sounds awesome, actually. Yeah, get those boys to fucking fly from Orlando to Sydney. All right. Good luck. Good fucking luck. Yeah. Hey, it takes a whole year to get. Oh my God. Yeah. That was the weird thing though. Leaving Australia, they really wanted to see all the papers. And I'm like, and you had to sign and you had to fill out this fucking form before you leave. But when I got to America, they didn't give a shit. I got to LAX. It's a really good thing to getting into LAX at 5:30 in the morning because the customs line was basically just my flight. So there was not many people. Because the LAX line, if you filled it up, would take you maybe like 5 hours, I reckon, if it was full. If it was like full, like absolutely full, maybe even more. So if you want to get to LAX, get there early in the morning. Oh, yeah, G&G is trending on Twitter 2 days in a row. Fucking awesome. Jeremy bitched the fuck out of basketball because he was drinking Dayquil all fucking day at the meetup, and then that was the next day. I went to the G&G house to just say bye to everyone. He was fucking gone, man. He was so done. Look, the good thing about this is we got the memes. We got the fucking memes. Perfect. News lad, absolutely amazing. That's so fucked up. This is a good one. Jay and Jeremy asleep. And the fucking bros poster in the background. No, we never got to play basketball because, yeah. Captain Bitch over here. Quarter Black. Got to meet Quarter Black at the after FNC because I went to Universal with Blabs on the Friday, and then she had a whole fucking deal. So what happened was I left from Universal in the Arvo, and she was still there because she wanted to hang out at some restaurant and get some food, like Harry Potter style food. And I was like, I'm just going to go back and do my own stuff, like own food and cook my own shit. And I got this message from her when I got back. Oh, also before that, there was a fuck around there because that night, I don't know if it was that one or when I was trying to get home from the meet. No, I was trying to get home from the meetup. What happened was no Uber. Every Uber wanted to cancel the ride. Every single Uber. So there was a taxi there, and I was like, dude, can you just fucking take me to this place? He's like, yeah, no worries. But I get back to where I was staying on the Friday to go do food, and Blab, I got a message from Blabs. Bro, my Uber's not working, my app's not working or some shit. Can you order me an Uber down to the house? I'm like, all right, no worries. So she had a big fuck around. Then I said, you should have left when I left. But anyway, there we go. Training again. Here we go. Here's the SJ Bart. Wicked Virtue. What a fucking legend. Yeah, Shaiba. I think I fucked it up the first time because when you take photos on the iPhones, it does a little clip as well. And I was like, just do it again. I think I fucked it. So got that second one. Perfect. X-Ray Girl was the funniest fucking thing I had ever seen after the meetup happened. Unreal.
Would you like the chili special? It's a chili chicken at the chili walk. It's so good. You want it, right? Would you like the chili special? It's a chili chicken at the chili walk. It's so good. You want it, right?
Fucking hell. And then Blabs posted another one. She was, oh yeah, here we go. Shitty walk.
Chili walk. Let's go to chili walk.
Dude, she's one of the funniest fucking people. And then there was me eating my sandwich as well. I was wicked. Sorry, it was a bad image, I guess. It was a bad picture, but I was trying to get, every time I took a photo, I was way too tall. So I was trying to get a better angle, and I kind of, anyway, sorry. There's a good one, me and Johnny, because we're about the same height, so that was fucking perfect. Perfect. Everyone had the Canadian Bear stuff on. I had the G&G stuff. No worries. It was all good. Chilling out after the day. Dude, he was like, people handed me so many drinks. I'm like, all right. I was running around for Jay all day. I was like, I'm happy to help you. He got so much, like, so many gifts from people that I was like, dude, just give me him and I'll run him over to the room where we had. So I was like, dude, just don't worry, I got you. So that was an awesome day. Hung out with some people. There it is. That's X-Ray Girl's. That's her reaction after she did my hair. You never got a pic? Nah, we got a stream together though. We got in a stream together, so we did kind of get a picture. But yeah, X-Ray Girl after she did my hair. Yeah. Let me take that and let's have a look. See what I can pull from my first couple of days. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Jay just rocks up out of fucking nowhere at the house. At the house, and I'm like, while he's holding the plushie. I think you can buy that now. You can buy that online, the plushie. Dude, that is a fucking great shot. It was a crazy experience there. That was it. X-Ray Girl doing my hair. So if you want, there you go. There you go. That was the braid. Trey is fucking awesome. Oh, all right. Let me find. That was Universal with Blabs. She's awesome. The guy on the night bus called her Babsy. Where are we at? There we go. Babsy. But that's from the video. What the fuck? Go away. Oh no. There we go. Stop sharing, you dog. Oh, there we go. Wow, Rach wants me to get a haircut. Fuck you. Jay with his son, yeah. Lethal. Yeah. That was a really good fun day. Like that place, Harry Potter World, I wish they did a Lord of the Rings place. That would be Warner Brothers. So I wonder who would do that. Why can't I go back? Anyway. I'm getting a lot of comments on the Wakanada video. Trey didn't even like it. Like my comment anyway. But what is that? Oh, okay. It's weird. Yeah, something going on. Weird. How about refresh? No, I'm talking to refresh the stream, see if that works. But yeah, what else happened? Oh, we got to catch up. Oh, so that day over at Universal with. So I hung out with, and I caught up with Mouche Bar, Cowman, Biggles, Chunk, and when Jock Nerdy was there as well. I caught up with him. You can see where the time we met in Vegas when we were both streaming, so we both got it at the same time. That was cool. But I was hanging out with all those boys at Harry Potter, and I thought I didn't even know where the fuck everything was. I was just like, bro, I'm in Diagon Alley, and I was in Hogsmeade, but I had no idea. I was like, okay. So I think I stumbled onto the boys were there, and I was like, oh, fucking, how you going? Let's go to the other place because I'm in the wrong place. Blabs is over there. So they're like, yeah, you got to catch the train over there and do that shit. I'm like, oh, okay. So that train ride, I didn't know it was like a full-on ride across the parks, because you get to sit down and watch like Fred and George flying past and everything, and it's like you're actually on the Hogwarts Express going to Hogwarts, and I was like, that's pretty cool, man. Like a whole not interactive, but a whole kind of scene where you get to see stuff happen through the window, and then it's like people are walking past you in the corridor. I think it's Harry and Hermione walking past. I was like, that's pretty cool, actually. So what did I want? Oh, that's right, I wanted that one so I can see that. Okay. Okay. I got to go all the way back. Depends. What do you want to do? You want to watch some clips from the videos, or do you want to look at some of the pictures? Dude, some of these pictures are fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, the one where I had the ground beef. What was it? A kilo? Was it more? No, it wouldn't be in kilos. It's 10 pounds. What the fuck is 10 pounds? 2.2 pounds to a kilo. What is it? 10 divided by 2.2. 4.5 kilos of meat in a freaking stick. And I was like, yeah, that's for me, baby. Like, what? That was at Walmart. That was at Walmart when we were trying to find. Dude, oh my fucking God. So I have all these allergies. If you don't know, you probably all do, who is here. Gluten, soy, dairy, and all this shit. So I'm walking around looking for food, like for anything that I can eat that doesn't have soy in it. Every single fucking thing I picked up, like mayonnaise that I was trying to find, had something in it, like soy something. And I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. So I found this avocado mayo a bunch of times. So I found an avocado mayo in Vegas, which was good. And then I found another one in Orlando at that Walmart. So at least they had something for me. Do you want both? I want both. All right. I want to have a look. Okay. So there's day one. America. Okay. So the very first day. So I get to the airport. I get to Sydney Airport, and I'm sitting down recording a little, like one of the little clips from the beginning of my first video that I put out. I'm just sitting there and being like, all right, we've got a few hours wait till the plane. And then as I stop recording, I see a guy, and I'm like, I said his name. I'm like, wait. And he's like, whoa, Lyndon, what's going on? So a couple of my mates who I used to play footy with, like, I haven't seen them in like 10 years, maybe. 10 years, maybe 8 years. I haven't seen them in like 8 years since I was playing footy back with them. And they were just at the airport, and they were getting on my plane. They got on the same plane as me. And I hadn't seen them in 8 years. Like, how crazy is the shit that happens? You just meet people that you haven't seen in so long, and they're on your same flight. And I was chatting with them for hours, just talking footy and other stuff and whatever they were doing. And they were going to Mexico and stuff and Cancun and that. And I was like, all right, that's cool. So it was just cool to see some people somebody who I used to know. So that was fun. Then it was on to the 14-hour flight. And then I found out that, well, I only found out now. But what happened was I got a SIM card for America and I put it in the phone and it just wasn't working. So I had to go to T-Mobile at Vegas and they ended up giving me a eSIM. And then I come home here and I had to go sit at Apple yesterday for hours to get a new phone because it was the phone that wasn't working. So I had to go get a new phone. That's all sorted, but this just pissed me off because I was like, if I can't stream while I'm over here, I'm gonna be fucked. But not the case. We all got it sorted. And have a look at this. On the first clip I posted in America, I think, yeah, it was as I got to America. First clip I posted was the massive flag at LAX. Look how many likes. Gang. Thank you very much. Let's take a quick look. I'm pretty sure that's got the audio. That was a massive flag. Like, I don't think the camera does it justice because that wall was so huge. And I was like, well, we are in America now. What'd you say? Who you shipping me with? What's up, Phil? Who are you shipping me with? Walmart is better than any theme park, especially in Florida. Did we see any Walmart crazies? I don't think I did. I don't think I saw any Walmart crazies. Oh, the Jock. Yeah, Jock Nerdy. Yeah, that was fucking cool. Nah, shout out Jock Nerdy. Fucking legend. Got us tickets to the Raiders game when that was our last game that we won and was actually there. And it was so fucking good. That stadium is something unreal, man. Unreal that stadium is. Dr. Pepper can go fuck off. All right. This was at one of my favorite places in the world, Planet 13. Absolutely. Fuck you, Blake. Absolutely awesome. They had freaking robots who having a lightsaber fight. But, man, oof. The place is awesome. Anyway, I won't show too much of that. I might get in trouble on the YouTubes. There it is. There's the that dude with the orange hat was from Texas, and I like that accent, dude, did me in so bad. It was like Tex ass. But that was cool. Seeing a robots doing a lightsaber fight in a weed shop. I was like, I wish I was high for this. Hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you live again. Live again? Live again, live again. Yeah, that's what's up, Shawnee. I know what you're looking at. So I got him to bring me out a couple of like each. So like a couple of indicas, a couple of sativas, a couple of hybrids. And I saw this one hybrid that I was like, oh my God. I smelled it. I was like, oh, this is unfucking real. And I'm going to take that. And I didn't even need a grinder because literally you pick the stuff up and you just crumble it with your fingers. It just, absolutely unreal. But I don't know how much I can talk about that on a stream because, you know, YouTube don't like that as much. Vegas at night is beautiful, but there's like the scenery is, but the people, I don't know, man. It's wild. That was my one word. It was wild. Like I got attacked. I got assaulted in Vegas. You can check out that video. That bitch fucking hit my shit, slapped my phone from my hand while I was on the gimbal. And then there was other chick got arrested. There was the weed smell everywhere is insane. Even the cops are just walking around like, yeah, we don't care. And then the amount of homeless people on the streets in Vegas was absolutely quite what's the word? Visual, but quite out there. It was right in your face. Shad would be disappointed. Webster, what's going on? Vegas crazies everywhere and the smell of weed, lol, every other step. Every single place. The only other place, the Beagles did assault me too. The only place where I've actually seen probably that many homeless people is in Paris. We were staying like outside of Paris back in 2012 on our Kentucky. And the place where we stayed across the road was an underpass and it was on a corner and it was just a fucking tent city, man. Just a tent city in the corner. It was so many people. And it was mostly black migrants from Africa that got to France and they just can't get a job and they're just on the street, man. In Paris. So that's the only other time I've seen that much homelessness. Like Sydney, we got a little bit here and there. I don't know. I haven't really been much around the city lately. So I couldn't really tell you about Sydney too much like now. Hawaii was a little bit on the strip, on the street, main drag, whatever. Not as bad as Vegas. Vegas is a wild place. That's all I can say, man. Wild. And that was on a Wednesday. When it got to Friday night, holy shit. That was like Vivid. Vivid in Sydney is so fucking bullshit because I went to one once because my mom was like, oh, but you're going to Vivid and all this shit. I'm like, oh, all right. There was so many goddamn people. It was like wall to wall. You could not walk anywhere. So I got fucking really pissed off and I just like ran through everyone. And I was like, get out of me fucking way. I can't deal with this many people. That's the only other time I've been surrounded by that many people in an outside space, like a street. I'm not talking about a concert or anything. I'm talking about a street. Yeah. You've been to Nevada once, just casinos, brothels, and prisons. I went in the casinos, but I didn't actually play. Because the table, it was a $1 table down at the Oyo, was always fucking full. And the rest of them were $10 tables and all this shit. I'm like, nah, I don't want to. And then I think the minimum tables in like all the other casinos, the big ones, was, I think there's a couple 10s, but they're all full. But most of them are 50s and 100s. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Fuck that. You met your girlfriend there in Vegas. All right, let's fucking pull that video up then. Let's pull that video. I was assaulted by a drunk woman in Las Vegas. What's up, Doritos? What's this about you standing for Wakanda? I love that movie. I just got out of it. I've got notes. I fucking loved it. We'll get to that. But let's take a look. I've got to change the screen to that one. Alrighty. So you can clearly see that I've got a freaking stick in my hand, a gimbal that's like this long, that's holding my phone that I'm looking at as I'm streaming. So it's not like she didn't see it. I mean, she was fucked up, but there's no way she didn't see.
Things got out of control and
I got assaulted. Oh, I think she's had a few. Oh, I just saw some lady before at Hooters. She fell off a chair and hit the table. So that actually happened when me and Jock Nerdy were at Hooters down the road. So this was during the stream where I walked all the way from Hooters all the way up the strip. So I was like, an hour and a bit. And you have to cross over because they're doing roadworks and stuff. I got a stick in my hand about this long. Too much. Yes, Lethal. I don't know. I've heard the name, but I don't really know who that is. So, yep. Okay. So what happened at Hooters, we were just sitting there having drinks. And this lady was so fucked up. She went to stand up and the next minute, boom, she hit the table on the way down. I'm like, oh my God. And me and Jock were just sitting there like, yep, that just happened. So that's what I was just saying to the chat. And then she clearly turns around right here and looks at me. And I'm holding a fucking massive stick like this, looking at myself. So how do you not see that? By the way, thank you everyone for being here. Fucking legends. I haven't done a What the Fridays. Well, I did a What the Friday in Hawaii, but it was a really weird time for you. So glad to be back normal time. Why you know Bang Crazy Lady? This is why. This is why.
Crazy.
What's up?
What's up?
She said, "What's up?" first. Did you hear what she said? I don't know if you heard what she said. She goes, "Oh, so first she goes, 'What's up?" I'm like, "What's up?" And then she goes, "Oh shit, I'm about to fucking die." And I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah? Why? Hey?
What's
What's up? What are you doing? How you going?
Nah. Where you go?
Hey, don't do that.
Nah.
She goes, "Where you from?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And then she slapped my shit, bitch.
What's up?
Where you
What are
from?
you doing? How you going?
Nah. Where you go?
Hey, don't do that.
Nah.
Look at her. Look at her fucking face. She was absolutely munted. Let me pause it on the. Yeah, she can't even open her eyes unless her lashes are that fucking big. Look at this shit. Oh, slap my shit. What a dog. Crazy would bang. Well, if I wasn't streaming live. What was it streaming live? I don't know.
Don't touch my things.
I didn't agree to that.
Okay, cool. We're gonna come in. Thank you.
And then I searched later, is Nevada a single party consent state? And it is. So I was like, okay, it is legal,
All right.
you dickhead.
Don't fucking record without the consent.
I'm outside. It's legal. She's a nutcase and drunk.
What's your ass, boy?
What did she touch? But she just like tried to push the phone out the way. She's like, I didn't record. Don't record me. You literally put your fucking arm around me. What are you doing?
Yeah, see, you can see she put her arm on me first, right here. Like, how does she not see the fucking camera? I don't understand that. And then, I don't know. Anyway, you don't put your dick in crazy. That's the first rule that I'll stick to. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Oh, gang, thank you everyone. Live, you saw this live. I want to thank everyone for 600,000 channel views. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here as well. Smash the like button if you haven't. Thank you all. 600K legends. All right, I haven't even liked it. Like my own video. What did you guys say? Our prayers are with you. Thank you, Burgers or Else. Thank you very much. Six Riverson, mad supporter, legend. Yeah, exactly. What if it was reversed? Trey. Hell is so much. Yep. Should have hooked up with that. Nah. Hung out with JT. He was cool too, but I was high as fuck as well at the dinner. So I remember, but I don't kind of remember. Because we were going out to some place with all the boys and whatever. Because what did happen earlier? Oh, Biggles fell asleep on my couch while me and Jock Nerdy were watching Ted Lasso. So Biggles was asleep at my place when we were watching telly. And what happened after that? I was making food and I was smoking, and then we went out later that night. But yeah, that's a fucking good comment. That's a good comment. That is 100%. Doesn't want to be recorded without consent, which is legal in that state, but no issue touching people without their consent. Thank you very much, Rachel. That is, I want to pin that comment. How did that? Yeah, you should comment that on the video and I'll pin it. When am I getting a haircut, Steph? Who the fuck knows, man? Who the fuck knows? Let me do a quick Steph shout out because we had a great time hanging out, and this is the perfect shot. I don't even remember taking this photo being taken, but come on, it's legendary, fucking legendary. You will do. Hold on, nice. Look at that fucking. That is an album cover in itself, or I don't know. What would you do it as? Plans to compete with Culture? Nah. I got to meet Culture. That was cool too. But I'm pretty sure it'll go at some point. It's just, it'll never be this long again after I cut it. So I'll enjoy it while I have it. All right. Thank you very much. As Bree says, as Brie Larson says, Lethal's lover. Eurovision runner. What the fuck? All right. What was the next one? What was what was a good one? Meetup day, hanging out with the crew. Oh, the footy games were awesome. Planet 13. What do you guys want to see next? I want to go through some of this because this was one of my favorite fucking days of the whole trip. Was at Universal. Let me fucking ads, man. These fucking ads. Should get a buzz cut. I'm not going to the military. Yeah, Steph coming up here. Look at fucking tires. Oh my god, I'm sick. Why you gotta watch ads on your own video? You know what I could do? Can I pull up the actual video file and we just watch it from there? I can probably do that. Hey, vlogs, HP with Blabs. I can probably just do it that way. All right, pause that. All right, perfect. So, fuck looking at them on YouTube. Let's have a look at them from the actual files. Let's go. Trey never sleeps. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Actually, I think he sent me shot me a message. Yes. Yes. Have you seen it yet? Oh, we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. So, this is me and Blabs hanging out at Universal. I love that fucking day. You guys want the music or no? I'll turn down a bit. Cowman. I'll turn down because I want to say something. So Blabs sends me a message when the video goes out. She's like, you put the derpy photos in there, like that one. Like that one. She's like, you put the derpy photos in. I'm like, yeah. I was fuck. Where is it? Next one. That one. She's like, you put the derpy photos in. Fuck. I'm like, I got to put everything in there. It was a great day. Steph, you're a robot. Yeah. No one touches my hair. Oh, yep. Without his hair becomes a soy boy. Oh god. All those pics are good. I know. It was with her phone because she had more storage and shit. How was Planet 13? Fucking lit. I just don't know if I can pull it up too much on YouTube, you know. Like that one. Where was it? That one. That was just such a good day. I loved it. See, derpy photo. Yep. That she was so. See, that's my issue. Trying to take photos with people, especially tiny whammons. Because where is it? You fuck. Because she's so small. I don't know where the fuck. I'm gonna play it again. Find it. She's so tiny that I had to cut her out of the fucking picture. Yeah, it is expensive. Tell me about it. There it is. Look at her. She can't even see her. Yeah. Definitely will check out Planet 13 when you go there. Oh, you're going to Vegas in April? Dude, oh, that place. That place is so good, man. It's just wall to wall, weed everywhere. It's basically a mini Disneyland for, well, Vegas is Disney World for adults, but Planet 13's like a mini Harry Potter land. Let's just say it like that for weed enthusiasts. Let's just put it that way. How tall's Blabs? 5'9". I'm 6'3". She's down here. Steph was like, Real tiny. Yeah, it was just such a fun day. Let me get to some of the clips. Meet something. The Mouche Bar, Cowman. The first time I ever heard Cowman talk, I was like, "Is that your real accent?" And he was like, "Yeah, what are you talking about?" Hello.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what?
I have it on like the wide lens.
Oh, thanks.
There you go, it's better. Linden in Florida, how do you feel?
Hot, but I'm used to it. It's all good. I like
I'm
it.
happy.
Alright, we need
So there's a story with this.
Oh, I can't even zoom in on that.
So everywhere Blabs went, because there was what, 1, 2, 3, like 6 of us, 6 guys, and her, every time someone would be like near her, 2 guys, we'd stand on opposite sides and high five over the top of her, and it was just it's a running joke that day. So we just the Blabs high five
Video. I just realized.
I hate all of you. Okay, we're gonna try butterbeer for the very first time, and I got a souvenir one, so let's try it.
Then she fucked her.
That's actually good. It's very creamy in the top. It's very sweet. So I feel like this is gonna be a lot to do and actually drink. I might end up not drinking all of it.
And then she lost it.
Okay, we're good.
It was just a fucking great day, man. Just a great day. My favorite. Oh yeah, she called me a retard. She said I'm retarded. I'm like, I'm gonna cut that out. No, it's so great to meet you. All the way down there. Down under, down there, even though I'm from down under. But
How's the weather, man?
it's pretty wet actually today. Not happy.
No.
Not happy, Jen. But seeing this place is actually pretty damn cool.
Right? It's very immersive.
Yeah,
I love that a lot. All the details, they really thought of everything. So if you want to get a wand, there's no line right here, so I recommend going right now.
Let's go get a wand. I think she might already
So
sell it.
Lyndon, how do you feel?
And there it is. Now we are at. Where are we at?
We're at Diagon Alley.
Yeah, I went to the other place first.
Because these are
Let's just beat that up. Because he's retarded. I was like, cut. Cut. What's up, Shellback? How you doing, man? Cowman looks less lesbian-y with his hair in this and that in the stream. Oh, okay. Did I read that right? Less lesbian-y with his hair in this. Oh, then on streams. Oh, okay. I got you. It goes behind the video. That's stupid. So I got my Snape one. Snape is my fave. That was my happiest moment. And then, oh yeah, we're fighting a dragon. That was fucking cool, fighting a dragon. And then we went and did some. It's interactive and everything, so you can like wave the wand in a certain way, and it does some stuff. And then there was this one. So I edited it together so it made it look like I fucked it up. But the first one was the other one that's coming up, and this was the second time. This was so fucking stupid. You're supposed to just do that.
What's supposed to happen?
Maybe it's for kids, it's too small.
No, I think it's.
So there's a sensor right there. I didn't know. And I tried to do it again.
Aha!
It just didn't work. Oh, sorry.
Maybe slower too.
Yeah.
Come on, be a wizard, Lyndon.
And then you'll see how I actually got it to go. It's fucking fun. Look at this shit. I just kept doing it. Yeah. And then it worked. I was like, there we go. Oh man. But yeah, that whole day, Blabs was standing in front of the mirror, getting told she was oh my god, I had to make a joke. I don't know why. It's just me, that's why. So I was like, why don't you grab her ass?
Thank you.
Put your hand on her ass. She wants
Get it?
Do you get it?
So you do it.
She fucked up. She hit the wrong time. This idiot.
Dragon.
Dragon.
I can't do it. That's the fucking do it down here. No, you stand up. I'm doing it.
16th time, yeah.
You can't even do that. Wait, it's gonna go.
All right.
I'm gonna drop my phone on me. It's supposed to go.
Look at this guy.
It's in our video.
I know. This is the longest fucking wait I've had to do for a video.
Watch him miss
photo.
it. Watch him freaking miss it. Let me see it. Hang on. Okay, it's gonna go. It's gonna go.
Next minute.
Oh wait, 15? Oh no, we have 5 more minutes.
Stop.
I f***ed up. Alright, we're going.
She fucking. So it goes every. I don't know. It said 15, so I must go on a 20-minute and whatever, whatever. And she's like, "Oh, that's the wrong time. Thanks, Blabs. Thanks." So we had to wait another 5 minutes and then do it again. But that was cool. Yeah, you do. You gotta buy a wand there because they have the interactive ones, so you can do all the stuff when you walk around the park. But I was like, the first one I looked at, I was like, "Whose is that one?" And it was from Fantastic Beasts. I was like, "I don't want that." And then I saw this other one. I'm like, "Oh, that one." And it was Snape's. I didn't know it was Snape's at the time, but I was like, yeah, Snape's. Because they got a little sensor in the end of them. Actually, I might go grab it. Let me do this for you. I'll play this. This is fucking hilarious, and I'll go grab the wand.
Oh my god, you said it too.
Babs.
Sure.
Okay, why not? I'm convinced. Hey, Babsy. What's good?
It's going good.
Yeah, man. I see your friend here got his wand today. It's a big day, man. That's what's up. You do magic too, right?
Yeah.
I could tell. It's a total vibe, Babsy.
Oh, thank you.
It's a total vibe. Let me guess. You are a Hufflepuff.
No.
You are a Ravenclaw.
No.
You are a Slytherin.
No.
You are a Gryffindor.
Yes.
Yes, got it. Yes.
There's no
Yeah,
other
man.
options.
No, I listen. I never need a fifth guess. I can always guess someone's house in 4 tries or less, Babsy.
Gee, I wonder how that works.
That's like I'm a crystal ball or something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gryffindor, what a champion.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, do you just wake up in the morning and start, like, saving the day?
Yes, I slay.
It must be exhausting.
It is.
You, like, listen, when you're out saving the day, Babsy, don't forget to save you.
Alright, I will.
You know, have a butter beer and a sit down, Babs attack. Alright? Like, you deserve it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, alright?
Alright.
Alright, cool.
Alright.
Good looking out, fam.
Alright.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So funny, Babsy. His name's Babsy. We got Hogwarts. We got Linden, which is not really that great.
Cool.
Look at the view. Hang on, go over there. Take a photo over there.
I don't know where I put it. It was here somewhere. I don't know. But I found something else for later. This is the present that Scimitar fucking got. How do I put myself? There we go. This is the goddamn present. All right, get your memes in. What's up, JT? We had a good time in Vegas. Yeah, get your memes in. All right. Fish. Yep. Oh, would this work? This work? Oh my fucking god. Wow. That cunt's fucked. Yeah, apparently it is a Finding Nemo whatever. There you go. There's an intro Scimitar. Internet never forgets. I don't give a fuck. Might have a sticker. Oh, I just left. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Blabs is Slytherin? No, she's not. She's not. Fantastic Beasts being cancelled. Oh, that's good. I really didn't care about the sequels or prequels. My bad. Are you gonna touch the button? What? Let's see what else there was in that clip. Oh yeah, just Blabs going off. Okay. How do I get rid of that? There we go. Isn't Blabs Ravenclaw? No! That's right. It took him 4 times to get it sorted. So there was, which one was it? Where I got the fish? Which one was where I got the fish? Jock Nerdy, my guy. All right, let me play this bit. Seems Jock just showed up in the chat. How you doing, man? Let me play. I think it was this one. And I'll skip to it because that's when I was going to the airport. Oh, yeah, I saw Greg Norman, one of Australia's greatest golfers. I was like, damn, that's cool. Got to America. So I couldn't check into the hotel for a while. So I went for a walk. And where is it? Oh, yeah. There we go. There we fucking go, man. I'm Australian. I'm sorry. This is unfucking real, this place. It's an adult wonderland, honestly. Bro! There we go. How bloody good's that? There he is, walking down the stairs. That's nuts. Hey, dude. What a moment. Hey, dude.
Like 9,000 miles?
Yeah.
They were helping us find one another.
Dan, he's right in the chat.
I think Blake was sabotaging it because he was telling me to go back.
He's a fucking asshole. You heard it. You're a fucking asshole, Blake.
But hey, we did it. What's up, everyone? See, I have to I have to stay on my tippy toes. I stopped growing after age 12.
That was a cool moment, man. When I finally fucking saw Jock Nerdy. And then we hung out for a few days. And then we saw JT as well. JT was, what night were you there? The Saturday night? The Saturday night, I'm pretty sure. When I was high as fuck. So, then I will tell you a story about that. I don't know what night it was. I was going to go see the guys, but then we didn't meet up or something. I don't remember because I was really fucked. But what happened was there's a middle strip where you got to walk through. I look like fucking Jeremy now. I don't want to do that. So there's a middle strip you walk through after the high roller. And I had just finished like a few hits. And I was walking through the middle strip. And there was so many people because it was a weekend, the night. And I was not going to believe it, but what happened was I was walking down this walkway where everyone is. And as I was doing that, I could literally feel like I was in Neo in the Matrix. Like I could see everyone as they were connected to like code and shit. And I was like, everything was just like going in front of me. Like everything was code and everyone was connected to code. I'm like, holy shit, I see everything for what it is. This is insane. It's unreal. And it was just an awesome fucking moment, really, to see that like that. Are you on shrooms again? No, not right now. I was on cannabis when I was in Vegas because it's legal over there. So what else do I want? I want to go just a couple of things where we saw some people. G&G Friday night. Here we go. So this is when I think everyone... Was this hanging out with you? Yeah, I think this is the one I said. Yeah, that's when we walked into the place.
First time, bro. Hey, here we go. Beardo and Lyndon together. It's real. Australia's real. It's not a myth. It's not a fabrication. It's not a fugazi.
Man, Mike is so fucking awesome. He's nothing like what he does on Mario Kart. Nothing.
All the way from Michigan and Australia.
And then there was Josiah and Ben. Peter's a paid actor. He's pretty cool. He is a very he's really good on the streams. Like when he did the meetup day streams, I mean he's really good at that. But meeting up with like Mike and Josiah and Ben from the Epic Verse crew, dude, we were in the car ride home when Hailstorm was driving us back. Well, he was driving me back to where I was staying. He was driving them back to where they were staying. Dude, that car ride was the funniest, one of the funniest fucking car rides I've ever been in. These dudes were just shooting the shit like they talk to each other every single day. It was so goddamn funny. And they are three of the best. They're probably the three best friends that anyone could have. It was really awesome hanging out with those guys. You like the music? Thank you. I knew I needed music because I wasn't gonna be able to have like whole minutes without any sound or anything. And then there was Steph again after. There's Jeremy.
And Steph.
After.
Look at that. Look how tall Lyndon is. Lyndon, who would win at basketball, me or you?
I'll dunk the out of you.
I go between your legs. Someone did get you a present, a gift. Do you want to go get the...
Oh, you know, she nearly fucked it. She nearly said the fish. Thank you, Lethal. I will see you tomorrow, babe. Yeah, Shay. Tomorrow night, same time. A bit earlier, I think. Full Aussie. It's going to be interesting, the intro. So I haven't been there for ages. I don't know if he's announced if we're having anyone on. So I'm not going to say anything, but we'll see. We'll see. Lethal came out of the closet. Yeah. Later, Lethal. So actually, the best bit was when I first met Steph because she was streaming on Toxic Femme, and her reaction was fucking priceless. It was amazing. But this is when they gave me the fish for the first time.
You look so pretty. What do you think?
This is how memes are made. Later, Shawnee. See you. Have a good one, man.
Isn't it pretty? I think he looks gorgeous.
Thanks, Blabs. Think I look gorgeous. And then X-Ray Girl braided the hair. That was some good fun. We got two angles of that because Blabs was filming and I was filming. And then she got the...
It's shorter than I expected. It's a lot thinner than I expected, Lyndon. It's like thin and long.
Wow.
Hair tie.
Wow. Talking shit about me hair. Well... Oh, yeah. Fucking grabbing onto me hair.
Amazing.
You can use this really well. I know. You can pull on that, can't you?
Wow. She was having a bit too much fun with that. And then this happens.
Ooh.
Oh my god, Crystal loved it. Crystal
Oh
loved
my
it.
gosh. You look like that stingray I saw at the SeaWorld.
Oh, that was good fun. Hey, Krista flipping me off Italian style. And then we did Dr. Pepper again. That was disgusting. She had the exact same reaction first time she had it. That was such fun. But Bito was trying to do Australian. Not kind of a ratty. A ratty's really thin. Really thin. And then the meetup. Oh, yeah, it was me in the pool. Hanging out. I think it was a Saturday. And then Jay... I don't know if you all saw it. This is fucking... Dude. Jay was going off.
You know, it's 100 degrees in my crotch. I cook eggs and steak, right? I'm holding this bear. Peter comes out of the bathroom, and the fog of death just hit me and Rolla right in the face. And I was like, this dude just took a giant dump while we're trying to film a commercial. And he goes, wow, y'all got that recorded? And then Jeff is like, well, indeed we do. We have it on the camera. So they recorded the whole thing. So I got evidence. He took a crap. He used up all the toilet paper. Go to the bathroom right now. The toilet paper is gone. It was gone 30 minutes ago. It was a 50 wiper. That's all I'm saying. I can't believe you tried to put that on me.
Now, I did put it in the video, but I don't know if it was this one. I think it was after this. Was it? Oh, yeah, there it is. So I wish I caught the whole thing. So what happened was so Jay was dressed up in his onesie and stuff because he had to film something for a commercial. And he had half a donut eaten on a plate outside. And he comes back out while he changed. And then this happened.
Oh, poor Jay.
He just walks out as soon as he picks up the plate. The whole thing is fucking... I was like, that's such a Jay thing to do. The first time I saw Jay was when we walked into the house first time on, what was like the Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't know. And He tripped over 3 things in a row as he was carrying a box of merch. He just went boom, 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 3 times. And Jeremy was sitting next to me in the lounge, and he just fucking couldn't stop laughing at him. I'm like, dude. And I just said, you are exactly how you are on videos and in streams. It's unreal. That was so fucking funny. There's me and Blabs with the hair. So braided our hair. Steph had a great time. Oh yeah, I had Macca's. I beat Jeremy in pool. Oh, here's Mike picking me up.
What are you doing? Oh my god.
This is so fucking funny.
So you want me to pick you up? You're supposed to let me do it.
You're supposed to let me pick you up.
Look at this
Oh my
shit.
god, oh my god, oh my god.
Thanks. My tab's over there.
So, cooking dinner. And then I had some other shit. So, let me get that one out of there. So, I want to show you the first bit when I met Steph, because that was such an awesome moment. Let me see if I can find that bit. I don't know what day it was. I don't remember. Oh, I can skip through and see when it was. No, it wouldn't have been then. It would have been day 6, maybe? Yeah, it was there. Okay, it was that one. So this is to Orlando. I was so fucked up. I didn't have much sleep getting there. It's leaving. I mean, this plane flight was pretty cool. Seeing Vegas. I think the best times to fly are in the morning and in the afternoon, where you get the sunset and the sunrise. Yeah, X-Ray Girl did pick me up, and that's after the meetup. So the video after the meetup. So we'll see that. So here we go. Here we go. This was such a great moment. So Steph's streaming.
Maybe I will.
Steph's streaming on Toxic Fam in the gaming room. And I got there in the night when she was on, and I walked upstairs, and Jeremy's like, she's streaming right now, but I just walked in.
She said Garrett might even join.
Maybe
I've only seen the movie.
All
I
right.
did enjoy the Buffy movie, though.
Look
Look what we got here.
Who's that?
Who is
Is that
that?
Lethal?
Someone
Yeah,
should be
lethal.
deported back to Australia. That's
So that's Liam.
Lethal? Who said that? Who said that?
So that's Liam.
Nina said that. Nina, I'm gonna at you. How dare you?
No, that's Lyndon.
That's Lyndon. Oh my god.
Lyndon, I mean.
Hi.
Someone should be deported back to Australia. That's
Mara has no leg to stand on here. She can shut the fuck up because she dogged me. She was gonna come to Orlando. She's like, I can't come, bro. I was like, oh, fucking dog, bro.
Oh, look
So shut mouth, can't.
at the love that's happening
First time
here.
we're meeting.
Oh, first time they're meeting on Toxic Fem.
Oh, wow.
So that was cool. That was a cool moment. And then, yep. I got there.
in the house.
I crashed the car too. Mara went to jail. I hope so.
Me and Lyndon just took a photo. It's coming along.
Lyndon is so.
Yep, met Chris. All right, so Steph's so fucking short. It was hilarious. But let's let me have a look. What was I think it's all okay. Meetup day. Let me see if I can get the bit where X-Ray Girl picked me up. You wanted to jump, but was too afraid you'd knock shit over. That's right. I would have stopped you. It's all right. That was so cool, man. Seeing everyone. I did the walk twice when everyone was at the line in the morning, like before the meetups. I got to hang out with everyone. Ryan being the MC, just yelling at people. Go buy drinks.
Holy shit, this is amazing.
Every time we have one of these events, I just can't believe.
And then someone said pineapple on pizza, and everyone was like, "Boo! Fucking disgusting." That's if anything's gonna split the crowd, it's gonna be pineapple on pizza with these guys. Jay, Steph. Oh, that's the idea for full Aussie merch. If you guys didn't hear,
We're brainstorming ideas. I've been spending way too much time with Lyndon. Full Aussie merch.
full Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. Yeah.
Chris threw out the back there. Beardo was killing it. I met Joni, and then there was the second one. And then Eshe Bar. Thank you, Wicked. Shout out Wicked Virtue, legend. And then there was there we go. I cooked a burger the night before so I could take it for lunch because I thought I might be able to eat it in the middle, but it was just way too busy. So I waited till after. And then I went to eat. If you're not 21, not where we had it. They had it at a bar, so you probably wouldn't have been able to go if you're not over 21. Joni is cool. Yeah, he is.
That looks fucking disgusting. What are you eating? You look like a caveman eating. What are you eating?
Cowfish, cowman, and the fish. This was funny because right behind us, as you can see, there was a bar called the Cowfish. So there's a cow right there, and then there's a fish right there.
Fish. Cowfish, bro.
And I was fucked up too. I don't know if in the background you can see it on that one. No, you can't. But there's a picture of Jay flipping me off. There you go, Subhuman, fucking ledge.
I heard about
Here
the
we go.
shrimp on the Barbie. Look at this shrimp. I guess that could be an Asian Barbie.
Oh God, oh God. Oh my God, she lifted him. Wow. Wow, that happened.
And then Blabs gets lifted. So when I got there, so this is kind of going to be a little segue after when I talk about some stuff after. So that's October, end of October and early November. So we're actually passing through a Torrid media stream those times of years, June and October and November, like June and late October, November. So I was so tired that I just laid down as soon as I got there, like right there on the grass, like right there. I'll just lay down while everyone was standing, like sitting and talking. And as I was laying down, I was looking up at the sky. And then I saw this fucking meteorite burst in the atmosphere. Obviously, it was a tiny one, but I saw it streak through the sky and and I was like, did you guys see that? How fucking awesome is that? And that would have been a spec from the Torres media stream, which is, as we'll find out in a bit when I talk about the other stuff, it's potentially world ending with the bigger stuff that is in that media stream. But I saw a tiny speck, which was fucking cool, while everyone else was looking at everyone else. Quick side.
Please give me. Oh. Christ.
Please. Oh my gosh, she's too good. And then we were fucking around. We got Shitty walking out here.
Hi.
Did you say shitty walk?
Yeah.
Oh, you look so pretty.
That must have been. It was awesome. I wish everyone else was looking up at the same time because that would have been cool. Oh yeah, here's where the end of the meetup, end of the night. I was absolutely fucking munted. I hadn't slept for like 2 days, and I was like, all right.
Oh fuck! You recording that? Cool.
Dude is so fucking delusional. He's on like an hour or two sleep, and it's currently 10 at night. I have a flight at 10 in the morning. I have a flight in 10 12 hours. Ah!
Is this goodbye?
I don't remember doing this.
What's going on here?
I don't remember that at all.
Geeks and
I don't remember that at all. Jeremy, I took a clip from the video because we were trending on Twitter, and then I was like, that's awesome. I'm going to go grab some shit I left down there because I went in the pool, and then I actually left my towel and the boardies down there, my shorts. And then saying bye to Johnny and seeing Jeremy was passed out. And I wasn't drunk. I don't drink. I had 1 hour sleep in like 2.5 days. That's all it was. Stop trying to fall asleep on Blabs. No, I don't even remember doing it. That's the thing. I don't remember doing it, all right? And then Hawaii was just chilling on the beach for a bit. I did tweet out a couple of things. I did see the eclipse. There was a lunar eclipse. So the moon was really red, orange and red. And I did get to see that. But just some of these images from the trip down to Tampa and the game and all that was amazing. JT, man, thanks for hanging out. Have to head off. No worries, man. See you later. It was awesome hanging out. That one. So that was on the trip down to Tampa. Beautiful scenery on the way down. Terrible that it took us 4 hours to freaking get there. 4 hours. Now, but that stadium was so awesome to be at. And this dude was sitting behind it. The dude sitting behind us kind of looked like Ripper because he had the beard and it was so fucking funny. He was going off the whole goddamn game. It was absolutely hilarious. And just to be there. Oh, yeah, we saw a sign that said Brandon. So I was like, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Happy Blabs. All right, I'm going to try and find the eclipse. That's what it is. Oh, is Trey still here? Is Trey still here? This one's for him. Hung out at the Hemptuary. Got some CBD vape. I still got it. So that place was cool. Really nice people over there. I got some beautiful photos, man. In Hawaii, the sunsets and everything. Oh, and then shout out to Lily, 300 mirrors on Twitter. She's like, do this walk. It's a pretty easy hike. She did it a while back when she was in Hawaii, so she recommended that. And man, some of the images and the video I got from that place was insane. It took me a while to edit that together because I did some spinning shots and all that, put it together. But dude, crazy. And then there was the eclipse. Beautiful. There you go. With the other phone I had, it wasn't as good. If I was here at home, it would have been cool because I got the telescope and all that. But still pretty cool to see. Did I meet elves? Did I meet elves? No, I did not. Elves. Also interesting that elves show up in, like, medieval people were talking about encountering elves. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of weird how they all interpret their experiences differently because of different cultural ideas at the time. It was cloudy and raining there. That's shit. That's really bad. Because it was pretty cool to see. I was just sitting there on the beach looking at I was going to say the sun. Well, it technically is the sun and the moon and the earth at the same time because you got sun, earth, and then moon here. So it's the way the light. And if the earth wasn't the right shape or the right size, it wouldn't look like it does. And that's also true with the solar eclipses because if the moon was a little bit bigger or smaller, I wouldn't cover it perfectly, which is what's going to happen in, I think, a few billion years because as we travel through the universe, the Earth moves out of orbit a little bit further and further away. So eventually the moon's going to move as well because gravity's not going to be able to hold it as much. So it's going to move a bit further away. So the eclipses aren't going to be perfect coverages. So it's cool that we're in this time to be able to see it. Lethal didn't follow. I didn't follow Lethal on Twitter. That's right. So he had a cry about it or some shit. Oh my god, yeah. This one is 100% edited, but I just had to fucking put it up. This is amazing. Sunset in Hawaii. Woof. Woof. Are we going back to shroom topics? No, this is what I saw. I'm just explaining the physics of an eclipse. Sky was clear, but it was close to dawn. Yeah, on the East Coast, it was a bit too early in the morning because it was starting to come up, so you wouldn't have been able to see it as much. But absolutely amazing. All right. So, what do you guys want to go on to? Do you want to go into Wakanada, or do you want to go into the ancient history show, which is based on his books, Graham Hancock's books, from basically starting in 95 with Fingerprints and then Magicians, which I read, which is unfucking believable. If you haven't read Magicians of the Gods or America Before, dude, you gotta read those, because that has so much more in-depth detail than the Netflix series, because it's only half an hour episodes. I was like, it's kind of like your foot in the door. For anyone who doesn't know about it, it's kind of like your foot in the door for his evidence for his ideas that he put in his books. Get the audiobooks, do that too, because he reads his own audiobooks. But I think you guys want Wakanada. So let me pull up my notes on Wakanada Forever. I call it Wakanada because that's what Bruce Banner called it when he first saw it in Age of Ultron. Wakanda. Now, this is also going to get a bit weird because it ties into Fingerprints was his first one, and then there was Magicians of the Gods was his other one, which is so much more detail and so good. Wakanda sucks. Do you mean Wakanda as a place sucks? Because they did get, spoilers, they did get kind of fucked up by, I don't know what you call them. They're not, it's because it's changed. It's not Atlantis anymore, which would have been cool to do Atlantis, but they used South America. So they used a more Mayan civilization. But it's weird because the timeline that they put them in isn't Mayans per se. It kind of is. But then they have the Spanish conquistadors, and then it's so good when he fucking sees them and just destroys them. Anyway, Wakanda just let the slave. Yeah, that's cool. Like, there's a part of that in Black Panther, which they talk about when Killmonger takes over. And he's like, fuck it, we're going to destroy everyone because you guys let it happen while all this shit was happening around the world. So Killmonger in the first movie is actually pretty good at the opposing view for Wakanda. So it's actually really good in the first movie. And he does make an appearance in this one. Talakan. So I know the city, but I just don't know what they called the people. Like, they just said Namors. Yeah, not your Namor. I get that. They changed the comic book origin. I'm not going to argue with that at all. I would have loved to have seen like an Atlantis civilization, because then they could have actually used the stories from like Graham Hancock's work, just an ideas of it, because 12,800 to 11,600 years ago, we had the Younger Dryas, and then Earth went through major cataclysms. Anyway, we're getting into both. But see, this ties into both things. That's why I wanted to see it and assess it for myself. But I'm not going to even go into how different it is and like the issues with how different it is. We know that Marvel has been changing a lot more shit post, I'd say Civil War, because they couldn't have the characters that they wanted to, so they had to change all that. But they've been changing things from the comics, deviating a lot. So I'm not even going to go into the deviation, but just the movie as it was itself. And I fucking loved it. Now, they also had a bit of Spanish in there, which was cool because I was looking at, I've been using some one of the Spanish language apps, and I'm like, there was a couple of words I could pick up here and there. So, and it actually helped me understand the way that they made Namor actually named Namor in this, because his name is now what one of the Spanish conquistador Christians, whatever, they called him. I've got the name here. Where did I fucking say it? And also there's issues with Love and Thunder and this movie now because they've introduced Quetzalcoatl, which is Kukulkan, which is what they call Namor. I'm like, but you can't have Namor as Kukulkan and Quetzalcoatl, which is the same thing, and reference him in Love and Thunder as a god who would have helped you to defeat Gore. that doesn't make sense now with those two movies. So they fucked it up somewhere. Well, they fucked it up with using Namor as Kukulkan because he's not supposed to be. But they should have known that was going to happen if Taika was going to put Quetzalcoatl in Love and Thunder or reference him in Love and Thunder. So that was stupid. But Namor's plan was dog shit. Namor's plan was to ally. Well, he wanted to kill Riri Williams, who was the scientist, because she developed the technology to find vibranium outside Wakanda. And that would have threatened Namor's civilization. Because if they find that vibranium, they're going to find them in the ocean. They were already unknown, then they killed revealing themselves. But they didn't quite reveal themselves, because at the end, now he says, with your help, or with Wakanda's help, we're going to stay protected. And when the world goes and tries to fight Wakanda, which is what they already were doing, they were trying to find all the vibranium, then that's when it's probably going to set up, that's when they can rise, because Wakanda's going to fall. And then they're going to want help from Namor, which I don't know if he'll give it to them, or he'll go way over the top and then just fucking start an all-out war, which will be interesting to see. Look, there was a couple of things that the way they did it was very interesting. And I think if you're actually taking it from this movie from, if you were in it in a historical point, if they could do the things that they could, like, what did they call it? Sonic hypnosis. They used their voices to make people jump off the fucking edge of a bridge or off the ship into the water. So if they could control people's minds by sound and frequency, dude, that is tapping it. So all these ideas that Ryan Coogler, because he co-wrote it, put into this movie are ideas that are based on the ancient, like, I don't want to say ancient alien theory, but the ancient theories or ideas of what actually potentially happened in our past. So I'm like, all these ideas are rooted in some kind of truth, which is why I like it, because there is an idea that the ancients in our past were able to manipulate objects or things through frequency, and everything works through a frequency. You've just got to tap into the right one, and then you can do anything. So if you think about that as an actual science, that they can use their voices to manipulate people to do anything they want, that's crazy. And that's even like, that's kind of a X-Men idea when Apocalypse tries to use Xavier to send out that message to everyone in the world. And if he had Xavier's power when he was trying to take his body, that's kind of an X-Men thing. Because if he had Charles Xavier's powers, he would be able to control everyone. So if if Namor and his people had a powerful enough frequency, they could control everyone in the world. Technically, that's a cool idea. But I wanted to get into, there it is, there's a name. So the way they call him Namor now is a Spanish term, because it's El Niño sin amor, which is the boy or the child without love. And it's because it's amor, love, so sin amor. So the way they make his name is they tie it into the story that they've created for this character. And I thought that was really cool. They use the Spanish and the name. But dude, I was really, really happy about one particular thing that I was really pleased that they did do. It's called please and thank you sounds that can get people to do what you want. Yeah, it's a bit different when you're like, hey, please don't steal our resources and kill us. Yeah, that always works, hasn't it? That worked in Amor. I'm sorry. El Niño sin amor. So that's what they called him. I'm like, it's really cool how they did him that. They called him that. M'Baku was wasted. M'Baku got fucking wrecked, bro. He got fucking wrecked. he kind of was. I'll agree with you. He wasn't as prominent in this one, but this is 100% Shuri's movie from what I saw. This is all Shuri's movie. This is how she had to deal with the loss of her brother, and she became princess or queen eventually, and the Black Panther. And everything about her story, I loved and I could relate to. This isn't about, oh, I need to see myself in the character and the skin color of the character to feel represented. We're not talking about this. This isn't what Coogler did though. This is good because I'm sure anyone who's lost anyone can relate to the beginning of that movie and how she was feeling. And the way she acted out and reacted to it, like she's like, I just want to burn the world. And dude, that's exactly how I fucking felt. So it's not about, oh, I can't see myself in the character because I'm not that same skin color. It's about what did she go through? How did she get to where she is now? And how did she deal with things? And how did she change? And I could just see myself in all of that because I've lived it. So I loved it. Actually, looking at the name of the city, Telakan, that's actually interesting because the name is Telakan and they use a form of hypnosis / telekinesis to manipulate people. I just realized that. And now I did like how they used every character's ideas and inspirations and how you could actually see where they were coming from. Because you could see where she was coming from. In the beginning, she was like super hurt at her brother's death and she was trying to do something about it and then he died, so she feels helpless. But her mother was like, kind of like, let it go. We've got things to do. And then Namor shows up in the middle of that and then tells Wakanda about what's happening. And then you see his motivations and you can kind of relate to all of them at the same. You can see where they're all coming from. So it's not like they've just made a villain or this character. Just they wrote it well. That's what I want to say. Angela Bassett is fucking amazing in this movie. She's so good. She's really, really good in this movie. Enjoyed the movie more than you thought, but I will acknowledge it's not as good as the original Black Panther. See, I disagree. I find the very end, well, not the very end, but I only like parts of Black Panther. And I find the end, especially the end, very boring, and I just never watched the ending. I only watched the death of, what's the dude's name? He showed up in this one. I usually only watch like the cool fight scenes in the middle, and then the death of Killmonger. Both Black Panther movies suck. Hey, you're racist, Trey. You can't be saying that. You fucking racist. No, let me just go through the things that I've got written down. So the opening first 10 minutes was like the death of T'Challa and his funeral, which it puts you right into it. Like, oh God, here it is. I went through that. Now there is I'll be racist for the shit. Hey man, that's your view. Rewatch Blade. Okay. There was one technique I think that they could have used better at the end when Shuri actually decides not to kill Namor. Just the way I think they could have done it better was, well, they showed it well because you saw her going through everything she went through in the whole movie, like seeing Telakan, seeing the people of that place, how they're just people, and then seeing Wakanda as it could be, just like at peace. And she saw both of them in the same time as like they could exist as one and just at peace. So that was cool. But the way I thought they could have done it is maybe just do a slow-mo shot of her and then dropping the spear slow-mo. I think it would have had more impact. That's basically the only thing I thought filming wise that could have given it a bit more impact at the end. Now, sound frequency, done that. I mean, we talked about that. That is a potential reality because they've even proven with experiments that we can use sound to levitate tiny little foam objects. So if some frequency can levitate foam, obviously there's got to be a frequency that can manipulate giant fucking megalithic stone blocks. So that's how I think they did it. They used sound. And I mean, that's not me saying that. That's the ancients saying that. And Graham Hancock explaining it, how they said the priests would sing the stones into place. What do you mean? And then you've got the walls of Jericho, which sounds like the complete opposite, because the story of the walls of Jericho is they blew their trumpets for days on end and the walls crumbled down. So there's obviously a sound technology that was being utilized that we've lost now, but the ancients had somewhere. And they think it was, here's a crazy story. They think it was potentially what was in the Ark of the Covenant. And that's why that if there was like a misused technology, like nuclear technology, like what the best analogy I've heard is if you took a nuclear reactor or a nuclear reactor, a small one, and you took it back to, say, the medieval times and they took it apart, they would fucking die of radiation poisoning. It's the same thing. If you had an ancient technology that we didn't understand now, but you could use it for something else if you knew how to use it. But if you didn't know how to use it and you open it up, it's kind of like radiation poisoning because you don't know how to use it, which is what the story is of the Ark of the Covenant, which is pretty crazy if you think that's true. Now, let me continue with Wakanada. You know how we build over old structures. Mysterious Roman building on a hill with large rocks. That's I don't know if is it Roman or is it yeah, I know which one you're talking about. It's in God damn it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't think of the fucking name. But they are absolutely giant structures at the bottom, and they built on top of them. But they think it's Roman because of the top level. But they didn't. The Romans weren't able to move stones that size. God damn it. I can't remember what was it. Was it in Turkey? I don't know if it was in Turkey or Syria. Because that's Göbekli Tepe, which is unfucking real in its own thing. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it. When I know it, I can see it, but I just can't think of it. Egypt. Let me pull up. Let me pull up maps, and I might pick it from the country that it's in. Because I don't think it's Turkey. I think it's in Jordan, maybe. God damn it. I wish I can see it right now, but I can't think of the bloody name of it. No. Let's go Syria. Might not be under what I'm searching for as well because they think it's it might be Lebanon. I'm pretty sure it's in Lebanon, actually. Baalbek. Pretty sure it's Baalbek. Yes. So there's Baalbek. Now, what's a better picture? So these stones. Oh, that is great. So this is a megalithic structure in Lebanon, and the Romans built on top of it. But they thought it's Roman. How the fuck would it be Roman if they were cutting stones this size? Look how big that is, and you can see there's a cut down the middle. So how the hell did they cut these things? Now, there's an idea that it was some super powerful water, which is very interesting because they used water technology in Wakanda Forever to blow shit up. So they're using this movie, Wakanda Forever, used all the same ideas that are referenced in all this ancient technology stuff that is potentially what they used tens of thousands of years ago. Like, look at that. How the fuck do you make that? How do you cut that and quarry that? We can't do that today. They obviously had a way to make. Well, there's stories from tens of thousands of years ago, or over 10,000 years ago, that they had a way to make the stones inert, so that they could lift them without having any mass. So you can see here we go. It's a shitty. Let's see if we can zoom in. It's pretty too small. But you can see the stones at the bottom are ridiculously huge. Like those stones, if you stood next to one, look at these people. If they stood next to one, they would come up like to here, the lowest mark. So these stones are ridiculously huge, and then they built on top of that site. And the quarry is far away. Yeah, then you're talking about what's in Egypt. The quarry is 500 miles away in Aswan, and they're pulling stuff from giant stones from 500 miles away. Come on, man. Don't play me like that. Look, these people are on top next to the Roman structure, which is 100% Roman. They got the columns and everything. But the base stones, there's no way you can know what time they were from. And they're just too big to be Roman. Places, that'd be cool to go to, but I don't know. Middle East is always a bit iffy as well. Aliens? No, it's not aliens. Not aliens. There was a way to do it that we have obviously lost. There was actually a story of this guy who built by himself in like the Caribbean or something, some structure, and he did it like overnight, and he had the technology to move these stones. And it wasn't even that long ago, but he wouldn't tell anyone how he did it. But you'd be like, how the fuck could a dude by himself move stones? What could blow the top off something, maybe a flood? Well, the flood did happen. It's basically proven fact now. The only issue is that everyone's trying to find an impact site, which is almost impossible because there was over a mile thick of ice wall in the northern hemisphere, covering basically whole of North America up to Canada, up to the Arctic. So if an asteroid or comet impact hits the ice cap, what do you think is going to happen? The entire ice wall is going to melt like that. All the water is going to flood out, basically, from, actually there's images of it, from just about I think Montana is about where it's at, or Minnesota is where it's at. You're being sarcastic. Oh, I'm not. You believe the flood theory. It's not about believing anymore. It's about the evidence is there, and it's there for everyone to see now. Because they have found melt glass, nanos, diamonds, microspherules that all point to super, somewhere there was a time where super hot, and it was able to melt things that should not exist in that time period or on this earth. So that means it's from out of this earth. Shifting magnetic poles. Nah, that Hapgood theory is not. Nah, I don't like the Earth cross displacement theory. That's no. Like, what would have caused that would have been a ridiculous amount of comet impacts over a 1,200 year period. Okay. Oh yeah. Speaking of comments and shit, I like the idea in Wakanda Forever. Going back to Wakanda Forever, that the vibranium meteorite wasn't the only one that landed on Earth, because they thought so. In the first one, they tell you, oh, the vibranium landed in Wakanda, and that's it. There's just a massive amount of vibranium in Wakanda, and it doesn't exist anywhere else. Well, turns out that's not true, because there's vibranium in the ocean, in the Atlantic. So it exists outside of Wakanda, which goes against all Wakandan mythology and stories, which is cool, because it's like what we are doing now. We have one theory of, oh, humans have only been civilization for maybe 5,000 years, maybe 6. But now we've got all these stories and all this evidence that it's a lot older than it actually is. What's up, Abomination? How you doing? Wakandans were defeated by water grenades. I mean, it's not as crazy as you would think. I mean, water's pretty fucking damaging to people who aren't water beings. Like, look at the floods we have now. We're having floods right now in Australia. It fucks us up. So it's not hard to think that water could destroy a civilization, which it already has done, which is maybe an allegory for the Wakandan deluge. But I did like that, because I think Okoye was like, so all the stories I've been told are wrong? I'm like, yep. Get used to it. Talked about that. And then how she comes around and eventually turns it all around. Yep. Okay. Riri Williams was OP as fuck. I'll say that. She was like 19 and she knew everything, and she created a way to detect vibranium. And it's like, and then the CIA stole it, the idea from her or her teacher, and they used it without her knowing, obviously. But I mean, governments will do that. They'll take they did that. That's how they got Bob Lazar. He was really fucking smart at jet propulsion when he was at, it wasn't MIT, it was MIT, but he was somewhere else, Caltech. He was at Caltech. And then they picked him up when he was at MIT, and they said, well, come and work for us because we have a potential propulsion system that we have no idea how to use. Now we're getting into fucking aliens. Which, I mean, if they had a technology that could make gravity inert, you can travel anywhere, anytime. And if you had that, whoo, there you go. That's it. You win. You win. If you have that, if you can master that technology or manipulate that technology, you win. No, oh God. Yeah, Riri was unconscious and she saved her, yet she died. Yeah, because she would have got her to the surface and then she couldn't get out herself. I don't know. That's why they cut it to black and then she died. Flood involved millions or billions of gallons. I think they talk about in megaton, like something ridiculous. It depends which flood you're talking about. Are you talking about the Meltwater Pulse 1B? Because I can tell you how big that was. Let me have a quick geese. Meltwater Pulse 1B. So that's what ended, I'm pretty sure, the Ice Age. Glacial sea level rise. That's when we lost all the land, and they basically everything that would have been on the coast was gone. So we lost millions and millions of square kilometers of land, and it's all underwater now. So if there was any, so could you imagine if that happened again? If we lost if we lost most of Earth's coastal regions, everyone basically is fucked. You got out of the show, hear me say aliens, Aryans. But if we lost today, most of the coastal regions, at the extent that happened last time, there goes like, what, 3/4, maybe 2/3 of the world populations. It's not just water being dangerous, it's gigantic amounts. Yeah, remember in Jumanji? A little rain never hurt anybody. Yeah, but a lot can kill you. I think the movie about Shuri moving on, it would be better. That's what she was doing this whole movie. A world without California. Oh, God. Let me go back. Oh, yeah. So it was self-aware because when they made the remarks, like, when she said at the end of the movie, seeing a colonizer in chains because Everett Ross was in custody and then Okoye goes to go save him and help him. She's like, oh, a colonizer in chains. And he's like, really? I'm like, thank you. You said something, but you addressed it in the actual moment. So Riri fucks it all up. I mean, you can't put it all on her because the Wakanda, like Shuri wanted to save her. They could have let Riri die. They could have just let Namor kill her, and then they would have gone about their business. But then that would have been what she encountered with Killmonger. It's like, do you want to be noble like your brother, or do you want to get shit done? And then she had to make that decision. Does she want to allow? That was the whole thing. They were saying because your dad, T'Chaka, killed his dad and his own uncle. So are you going to be the same person? Are you going to let her die? Riri. I did it again. Fuck, get a better name, cunt. Riri Williams. Off, Shellback. You got to go, man? No worries, man. Take care. Thank you. So if you let Riri die, you can be like your father, or you can save her and be like yourself and make your own path. Made me cringe, the colonizer. I know, it would have made me cringe more if they didn't address it and Ross didn't say anything. But he did, so I'm like, okay. He said, wow. Yeah, so it's not like he was a punching bag without any response. Yeah. No, I said Riri Williams. It's a shit name, man. It's too hard to say. I know they referenced, yeah. So they referenced Quetzalcoatl in Thor: Love and Thunder, which I said. So that's like, what? Why? You just fucked everything up because you've referenced him in that movie, but now he's actually in this movie. But okay. CGI on Okoye's headpiece was a bit weird. Okay, but the one thing I did love, when they're telling the story of how the Mayans or whatever became this new species of people, I was like, you cannot tell this story about them consulting the gods and not have them take a hallucinogenic substance, a psychedelic. You cannot do this because it's written, it is tradition that Native American, like South Americans, use psychedelics to convene with the gods. So I'm like, if you don't do that, then I'm completely out on this. And you know what they did? I mean, they kind of did it in Black Panther with the heart-shaped herb. So I was like, you better do it. So what happened was they had one of the shamans convene with the gods through psychedelics. When he ingested some brew that allowed him to communicate with the gods, I'm like, yes, thank you. It wasn't ayahuasca because it was some different color. And then it turned them all into water beings. And then when they came back, when he came back to bury his mother, the Spanish conquistadors were there. And then he fucking flies because he's got winged feet. And then that's where he gets his name, Namor. El Niño Sin Amor, which is fucking cool. And then I would have liked them, but he was only a kid then, but I would have liked if they just destroyed all the Spanish conquistadors because, man, they decimated the population, man. There was like cities of 100,000 people in the Amazon, and smallpox fucking killed everyone. It's very unfortunate. The fish people gestures with Hadouken. Oh, Hadouken! Yeah, that's right. It was like, yeah, there's Hadouken. I did see that, and I was like, okay. The Spanish, you mean straight up white guys? Yeah. The conquistadors. People ask how bees can fly with such tiny wings, but they have nothing on Namor. Dude, tiny little ankle wings, and he's fucking jumping from left to right in the air. It was cool. I like it. Like, the story is about an ancient advanced civilization, well, two of them, really, and advanced technology that has been lost or hidden from the world above. So it's using all the ideas from ancient aliens, which is cool. And then the post-credit scene, T'Challa has a kid with Nakia, and his name is T'Challa as well, I'm pretty sure. And that is it. So I'm happy. Oh, yeah, one more thing. One more interesting fucking weird story. So they turned blue. Now, they were blue beings at one point, but they kind of transferred. Like, they were a bit both at the one point. But the idea of them being blue, I thought is very interesting because the timelines are off for this movie. However, what about the white guy kneeling in the beanie? I didn't see that. I don't remember that. Kneeling. Oh, no. But they were trying to steal vibranium from them. So it was like bringing a prisoner in. There was nothing wrong with that. Are you talking about the prisoners? If you're talking about the prisoners, then that doesn't count as kneeling to the black people. That's for BLM or whatever. That's not that. That's just what prisoner. You put them there, put them on their knees because they fucking try to steal something from you. That's not that. If that's what you're talking about. But there's a really obscure story about beings that were blue. And it comes from, look, it's going to sound fucking weird, but it comes from a guy who says he remembers his past life in Egypt, but it was about 10,000 years ago. And he says there was a story that they were told as kids of beings that were blue, and they could never touch the sun so they were always covered in robes. And they were like the high priests that, I don't know if they were, he claims they were alien. I don't think that. But if you got beings that were blue 10,000 years ago, it's very strange that they'd make these guys in Wakanda, Wakanda Forever blue. I just thought that was a very interesting detail. And this story, it comes from an interesting source, but I just thought that was a cool tie-in that story exists. It's very interesting. Could you imagine if that was real? People walking around in what's called Chem back then. So Egypt, back in thousands of years ago, was called Chem because there's still an ancient tradition today of chematology. So it's the ancient wisdom keepers, and they lived in Chem. And this guy reckons he lived there, and he had the story that blue beings were there, and they were like the high priests and stuff. I just thought it was cool to see blue beings in this as well. And man, I don't know how the fuck going into hemp. No. Okay, let's read some of the chat. You know what they were doing? No, I didn't see it that way. Honestly, I did not see it that way. I didn't. Are they setting it up for more Black Panther movies? I think, yeah, because there's more heart-shaped herb, because she synthesizes more heart-shaped herb from Namor's wristband here that he gives her, which is made from I think it's made from the psychedelic that they give to their original people, how they became what beings they are now. That's why I really like it. It's got ancient civilizations, it's got psychedelics, it's got action, it's got heart, and sure, they changed the comics. I'm not going to argue that, but I was really into it, and I fucking love the story, and I could relate, and I could see where everyone was coming from. I really enjoyed it. I did. Aren't they regular skin color when they're home in the water? They were both, though. They were both, because when they were in the water, initially when you saw them, they were blue, but sometimes they changed to blue when they were standing up out the water, but then they were normal color when they were in the water sometimes that they weren't. It was a bit all over the place. So that's one thing. I was like, yeah. Action wear, the car chase, the fight scenes. I guess they want to set it up for T'Challa's kid to be something or do something. I don't know. Hemp? What about hemp? They advanced too fast for a civilization that turned fish in what? That turned fish in 16th century? Well, back in the day, they used hemp rope to they used hemp rope to use for their ships and everything. Civilization decided to make jewelry made from drugs. I think they kept a keepsake of it because they gave it to him and he would be their king. That's what it was from. And then he gave it to her. Look, everyone's hating me for this. I don't give a fuck. I love the movie. It had everything I just said. So I don't care. All right, let's fucking go. Namor's people, they turned aquatic during the 16th century. Yet they were all lasers and shit in 2022. That's the only thing that's the only thing I didn't like, because they weren't really that ancient. So I was like, how can you make a 15th century or 16th century kid? Well, maybe because, I don't know. Well, they used vibranium. Wakanda had vibranium, so they had vibranium too. So they would have been able to manufacture it into whatever they wanted. So that's how they would have been advanced, because of vibranium. Wakanda decided not to save the drug. No, what happened is in Black Panther, Killmonger destroyed it all. If you remember what happened in Black Panther, he didn't want anyone else to be able to become a Black Panther or the Black Panther. So he destroyed all the heart-shaped herb. So they needed to synthesize more. Any scene without Riri? Yeah, she was only there because they needed her to be. She was kind of the MacGuffin. It's like, yeah, she needs to be here because she got to be saved by Letitia. What's her name? Black Panther in this. Anyway, I liked it. So let's go. Holy shit, look what's trending. Rip Twitter migration, Twitter down. I don't think so. Looks pretty good to me, actually. So I did get to watch the show Ancient Apocalypse. And now, it's not as detailed as I would have liked because I've read the books that it's based on, really, and I've been watching videos and all this for when did the Magicians come out? Years now. When did the Magicians come out? Came out 2015. When Back to the Future 2 happens. 2015. So I've been reading it. Well, I've always had a fascination with like ancient history. That was more my favorite one. Modern history, I was like, yeah, just ask your grandparents about it. They'll tell you what happened back then. But ancient, I'm always like, man, how the fuck did we do all that? And my one point has always been, okay, if you go on the normal timeline of how long humans have been modern, anatomically modern, they reckoned it was about 100,000. It's now back to maybe even 500,000 at some case, but at the very least end, it's at least 250,000, so 250,000 think that they actually know, but it could be as much as 500. So 500,000 years of being what we are now. I've always thought, just give it 100. Just give it 100,000. So for 100,000 years, we did absolutely nothing except hunt and gather. And then, 6,000 years ago, we made civilization out of nowhere, and we've gone from here all the way to where, we've gone from there to where we are now. How the fuck do we go? Are we talking how old humanity? No, humanity, like as we are now. How do you go from building the largest structures known to man, the pyramids, not just the Egyptian ones, but the ones in South America, in Indonesia, everywhere? How do you go from that to, if normal conventional wisdom, you'd go from that 5,000-6,000 years ago to where we are now? Because, I guess they made them, they were at the pinnacle of their creation 5,000 years ago, and then Spanish conquistadors, Portuguese, all that, they destroyed the population, so everything was lost, obviously. And then we go into the Dark Ages, so we go down, and then we come back up. And that all happens in what? The conquistadors, 1500s. So that all happens in 500 years. We go from floating around in boats to making the craziest looking cities we've ever had. I've always been skeptical about the date for how humans, or the amount of time we've been here. Because I've always thought, how do we go from making pyramids? Like, let's talk about Egypt. How do we go from making the greatest structures in history and then making the worst ones? Like, all of these went down in sophistication as the years went on. Like, that's not how progression works. You go up and up and up as you go. But this has gone, we make the greatest structures known to man down, down, down. Ancient Apocalypse. That's what I'm talking about now. But I've read the books that it's based on, so I'm going off that knowledge as well. There were giants back then. Well, they say there were. They say there were races of giants. Like, do you take that to mean giants as in stature or as in mental? Like, they knew more than what the people they were living with knew. Something about 2 ice ages and a global flood. Yeah, well, 12,800 years ago was the initial destruction. And then 11,600 years ago was when the ice age ended and the ice caps melted and everything was destroyed. That's when Atlantis was supposedly went down, because Graham Hancock tells a story. What happened? Plato tells us that his ancestor Solon went to Egypt at the Temple of Sais in 600 BC. And he asked, what is this story all over the walls of the temple? And they told him, this is the story of when civilization fell and there was a global flood and cataclysm, and the more advanced civilization fell. And he said, when did this happen? And he said, and they told him 9,000 years ago. So 9,000 years before 600 BC when Solon was there. That's 9,600 years ago. That's 11,600 BC. The exact date for when we have all this evidence now that there was a global flood and there was a black mat layer in the earth in America. You can see it. There's a whole black line in the strata, and they've tested it, and it has nano diamonds, microspheral glass that shouldn't be there, and that only occurs when superheated conditions, like when a comet impact happens or when there's an airburst over the top. And we've had those before. Do you remember Chelyabinsk? Chelyabinsk in Russia? That was pretty famous because what happened was there was a massive meteorite that exploded in the sky. And it's on dash cam footage. And it blew out windows and everything. And then if you look back at Tunguska got absolutely fucking leveled in 1908. And I love when they say, if that happened over a major city, our planet, our societies would be based so differently right now. We would be living such a different life if Tunguska happened over a major city. But you got also think about what time that was. 1908. That was before World War I. So I just like thinking about alternate history. If you had an airburst over, what's the closest thing to Tunguska? I know it's like out in the fucking middle of nowhere in Siberia. Why does it happen in the middle of Siberia? Well, Russia as a country, like it's one of the biggest land masses on its own. So that's why I guess they get a fair bit. And also the trajectory where it's coming in. Tunguska, I don't want the event. I want Tunguska on the maps so I can see what's closest. See, it's okay. So it's in the middle of Siberia, absolutely nowhere. So if it happened over Moscow in 1908, I think, I don't know. If it happened over Moscow in 1908, I don't know. I think people wouldn't, I'm going to be honest here, I think people wouldn't care as much because of the time it was happening and everything that was happening. Let's have a look. Moscow population 1908. 1.3 million people. Now let's say London. Population of London. Well, let's go 1910 then. 7 million. If it happened over London or another major city at that time, whoo, we would be living in a complete different civilization. Completely different. And like I fucking saw a tiny piece of the Torres media stream, which is what all of these impacts are coming from. And what they reckon happened 11,600 years ago. A comet from the Torres media stream broke apart and impacted the Earth multiple times in a few months. It may have kept Russia out of World War I, and that would have made a difference. World War I, that's a bit different because like that was a stalemate, basically. That was trench warfare, stalemate, and I think it still would have gone down basically the same. But because I'm only thinking World War I because it happened in 1908. Now, if you think, holy shit, that would have happened in 1930s, like 39, and it hit Russia, Moscow. Now we're talking about a completely different war. Because if Moscow's out of the picture, the Nazis win. Man. Because, well, I mean, that's basically what did them in. They tried to fight on two fronts at the same time. But if you watch Dunkirk and you know the history of Dunkirk, that's where they fucked up. Well, I mean, England fucked up as well, but that's where also the German army fucked up because they pulled back. If they destroyed the British at Dunkirk and they kept the Panzer tanks rolling and they didn't pull them back, they would have won World War II in a matter of weeks, months. Unreal. Just thinking of the shit that could have happened. Germany had their best gen fight with Russia in World War I. Large number of troops sent that to France. May have. It may have. But 1908, because 1914 to 18, so it depends what would have changed. What would have. Like if that happened in 1908 in Moscow, would it have changed anything? Or would Germany have tried to take it? We're getting in really interesting territory. Anyway, let me try and pull up this because I saved the videos. Oh, don't freeze, don't freeze, don't freeze. There we go. There we go. We're good. There was only a couple of extra things in this because I think they were the first film crew to go into Karahan Tepe, which is another site, another hill that they found near Göbekli Tepe. And there's a bunch of other ones. So the people who built Göbekli Tepe and Karahan were trying to make, I think they were trying to make a museum of the time period of around 11,600 years ago when everything went down. So they've tried to build. I still can't think. How the fuck did it stay hidden for 11,500 years? You think of history, think of like how many people have gone through Turkey. You've got the Romans, Babylon, everyone's been around that area. Silk Road's near there. It stayed hidden until the 1990s. And I'm just so thankful that it stayed hidden. Because could you imagine, I thought of this like a couple of nights ago when I was watching it. Could you imagine if in the Middle Ages, the Ottomans had found Göbekli Tepe and destroyed it? Oh, we've lost so much history already that this is one thing we needed. And I'm so glad that they fucking buried the shit out of it. So we couldn't find it until now. 11,600 years ago, this happened. And they built into it the time period that it happened. Unreal. Come on. I'm going to freeze again. There we go. Shows. Ancient. Let's take a look at... Which one was the one where they showed Göbekli Tepe? There's a cool one in Malta, which is Gigantia, which they showed. There's a bunch of different sites on that island, which wasn't really a small island, but sea level rise and that. So there's a bunch of different sites, and they all point to the same star, but at different points in time. So they were building as they were going on. So this is more evidence that they weren't only doing it for a couple of thousand years. Like the procession of time to see the stars at different points in time like that is over thousands and thousands of years, not just a couple. And when the scariest fucking thing, they didn't even touch on in this, the scariest thing I think of, the mathematical accuracy that is put into the Egyptian pyramids is fucking astounding and astonishing. Like, I think he said it's 1/60th of a degree to true north, its alignment. You don't do that without proper astronomy and knowing math. 1/60th of a degree or something like that. And the size of it, if you scale it height-wise, 1 to 43,200, if you times the height of it by 43,200, you get the polar radius of the earth. It is literally, and then if you do it around, times it by 43,200, I'm pretty sure it's that way, across, you get the circumference of the earth. So they built the mathematics of our planet into the Great Pyramid. If you think these people were hunter-gatherers and they only started doing this 5,000 years ago, you're fucking retarded. And you're willingly obfuscating the truth to fit your own agenda. And we don't need any more of that because we've been experiencing that for the last 70, 80, 90, 100 years with the war on drugs. Like, we know the evidence stacks up. We know you fucking lied to us for 100 years. And now you're lying to yourselves now and everyone on earth because you want to keep your ego and your fucking diploma in check and your job when you know you're fucking wrong. Fuck you. God damn it. I don't know how people can sit there being, I've watched it. There's this one episode of Ancient Aliens, which they did a whole breakdown of the evidence that Robert Schoch gave for the Sphinx erosion, the water erosion on the Sphinx, and how it's weathered for thousands of years. And they got Zahir Hawass, the lead Egyptologist, and he said, we've talked to another geologist, and he says it's wind. Just basically says it's wind. Like, motherfucker, you know it's not wind. It's water erosion. You know how that shit works. Or you don't, and you're deliberately obfuscating. Fuck off. Nobody likes to admit when they're wrong. Well, they should. If you're in a field based in science, you should accept when you're wrong and the evidence is right in front of you. But in this fucking show, they wouldn't let Graham and Netflix go to Serpent Mound to film because they said his views don't agree with us and what our views are of the site's age. But there's evidence the site is so much older than what you're saying. Because if you look at where it points, the head of the serpent points, it doesn't point directly to the sun on the equinox when it sets. And why would you build it if it doesn't point directly to it? So you do the calculation, when would it have pointed directly at the sun? Yeah, it's all pointing to this epoch 12,000 years ago. Why? Obviously, something so drastic and dramatic happened that they want to fucking time capsule it all over the world. All over. And you got to think, I'm reading this one now. Written system was invented 6,000 or 5,000. Written that we can understand now. Göbekli Tepe is older. How do you plan that without writing the plan? This is what I thought. Their communication system has to be so different from what we are used to today, like this, or their mode of language. Look how they made Göbekli Tepe. That is the most advanced carving ever. You don't just carve around. They didn't carve into the stone. They carved around it. And they put advanced astronomical knowledge in there. You can't sit here and tell me that the time that you think happened is what it actually is anymore. Maybe we think of cavemen living in caves since 10K BC because they were simply too scared to go out and explore. Well, no, here's the thing. We live right now on the internet in cities at the exact same time as people and uncontacted tribes in the Amazon or in other places of the world. We exist at the same time. That is the same thing as what happened thousands of years ago. And those people who survived and were advanced went and settled with the hunter-gatherers. That's exactly what we would do right now. If we had a world ender today, tomorrow, where the fuck would everyone go that survived? They would go to people who lived in the jungle because they knew how to survive. I think Australia is probably the best place to be if it didn't get hit. If the Northern Hemisphere got hit like it did before, I think Australia would be the best place to be because we've got the indigenous population here that have been doing this for 40,000 years. So they know what they're doing. They know the land. They know how to do it. This is probably the perfect place to be, honestly. Julian calendar isn't exact. Yeah. The Aztec calendar was more accurate than the one we use now. The Aztec calendar and like the Mayan, everyone says the Mayan calendar 2012 and all that shit, it wasn't talking about the end of the world like we all thought. It was pointing to a time in history that is going to change the course of humanity. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Oh, that would have been amazing, Mer. Aztec calendar, Anthropology Museum. Oh, that would have been awesome. You got photos of that? I would love to see. Thank you so much, Dr. Rachel. $5 American. I'm trying to remember what was on the $5 bill. Big brain history stream. Thank you. You got to run, but have a great day. Thanks for the stream. Great topics. Thank you. Thank you, Rach. What can I say except you're welcome? Okay. Let's get back to fucking yelling at history. Then we had to change to Gregorian. Yeah, we had to change calendars a bunch. Like things haven't always been. This is the thing. We haven't. When I watched this show, if everyone watches this show and sees, hey, you know, tomorrow we could all get hit by a fucking meteor we have not seen before, and we could all end. Like that's a possibility. But people are so trained, conditioned, entrenched in their ways that I got to get up, I got to go to work, I got to go to school, I got to do this, and we're just too locked into what we're doing daily. When if you watch this show and you know that, hey, anything could happen at any second, at any time, why are we doing all this shit that doesn't really matter? Like, if you think about it, I think this is the turning point. I think COVID started the turning point because you saw the resistance to wanting people to submit. And it's great. I think that's what it's talking about. We're seeing people push back against global takeover, do you want to say? Because we are moving into a different age now. It's an age of Aquarius, because Pisces was all about dreams and like what can we achieve? What can we achieve? And now it's moved. So it's 2,000 years. So it's no what's the word? It's not surprising why all the iconography around the time of Jesus was a fish, because it was moving into the age of Pisces. Fish. So it's not hard to understand why all the iconography then was fish. But now it's moving into the age of Aquarius, which is going to be very different. That's what they were pointing at. I think the Mayan calendar and that, it's going to be pointing to a different point in time for human civilization. Which way are we going to go? That's where we're at. What does Hancock say? We are at a crossroads, and we got to decide what we want to do. Do we want to bow our heads to the World Economic Forum when they said a new world order is coming? They literally fucking said a new world order is coming. Or are we going to take responsibility for our own lives, our own consciousness, where I know a lot of people still have this entrenched idea about drugs. And it's like, we've only been conditioned to think that. We know that there's evidence that humans have been using psychedelic substances for thousands of years. Do you think that they were wrong to use them for all those thousands of years? And then magically, in the 1960s and 70s, or 30s and 60s and 70s, the politicians of the time that didn't want pushback against Vietnam and in the 1930s were super racist because they didn't want black people dancing with white women. Do you reckon that the people in those times in the 60s and 70s were more knowledgeable than the people who used psychedelics for thousands of years to enhance consciousness and interact with interdimensional beings, whatever you want to fucking call them, because it does exist. Early 30s. Well, the Marijuana Tax Act was actually in 1937, because before that, cocaine was sold over the counter. Heroin was sold out. Heroin was sold over the counter at drugstores. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. Heroin was sold over the counter. Cocaine was in Coca-Cola. Elon Musk joked about putting cocaine back in Coca-Cola, and I was like, go. Cannabis, marijuana is not really what it's called. And we've been using that as humans for thousands of years. We've also been using psychedelic brews in wine, spiked wine with mushrooms. That's what the Eleusinian mysteries are in Greece. It was people experiencing their consciousness in a different level thousands of years ago. How do you think they came up with these ideas for democracy and all these other things, and how to, like, they had forums. It's called the Roman Forum, the whatever forum, amphitheaters. What do you think they did? They talked about ideas that could change everything. Where do they get them from? They just think about them having wine? No, they put something in that wine. So then it opens up their consciousness to be like, hey, what other things can we work with? What do you reckon? You can't do that without math. They figured out how the stars were going to move for what, like 2,000 year span, all without writing the wheel. No way. It's not just 2,000 years. Like, if you look at, okay, there's a really, in Magicians of the Gods, there's a really crazy number that I don't know. So if you look at the earth and sky alignment of the Egyptian pyramids, the 3 pyramids, they mirror Orion, the constellation, the belt stars of Orion. They mirror that on the ground. Not only that, but I think, is it Teotihuacan is it in Mexico? There are other like temples and sites around the world that mirror not just Orion, but other constellations. There's one in Asia, which is Ursa Minor and Ursa Major. So it actually looks like that on the ground in the sky. And at the time that for Egypt, that looks like Orion, the time that it correlates to Orion is like 26,000 years ago. And then if you go back further than that, it's like 100-something thousand years ago. So why would you build the pyramids and align them with the stars, but they're actually aligned at a certain point in time, which is thousands of years before they ever thought could happen? They also talked about in the latest Rogan stream, like, the Egyptians used psychedelics too, the Blue Lotus and Acacia, which is DMT. So we've been using these for thousands of years. I don't understand how people can sit there and with this knowledge and still be so stubborn to be like, it's drugs. It's just your brain on drugs. Are you fucking stupid? Like, that's the most lazy and obstinate idea ever, to not want to explore these things. This is scientific. If there is actually a dimension that's above or outside our own, isn't that the most fascinating thing? And the fact that our ancient ancestors actually wanted to explore this, and they interacted with them, and they taught them how to make things. Isn't that, if that is real, which I believe it is because I've been there, why? I think it's because people haven't actually had the experience. And when they hear it, it's too way out there for them. Because, as I said before, they're in their daily routine. They've got their life to think about. They've got their job, their car, their house, their payment, whatever. They're not actually thinking about what happens outside of all this. Because if they did, I think everything for them would break down. And they're scared that, would I actually want to be here anymore? Or would I want to live the life I have anymore? But hey, all I want is the truth, man. And people who reject that I don't care for. If you want to tell me, hey, it's just drug, whatever, that's cool. That's your idea, but don't stand in the way when me and other people who have experienced it and know what we're talking about are telling you there's something else to the story. I just can't fucking deal with that. So it's time to fucking change, man. It's time to change. And how do we do that? How do we do that? I'm actually asking. I don't know how we do it. We're just gonna tell people, man. Change. How do you change people's ideas? There was some people who wanted to. They had a plot to. You're off, Mer? No worries. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. There was a plot to put LSD in the river in the water supply in California a while back, but it got stopped. Like, could you imagine if everyone in Cali was tripping on acid at the same time? That's what I've thought. If everyone took some form of psychedelic, everyone over the age of whatever, actual adult, if everyone took something at the same time and we all experienced the same thing, look, I would probably say DMT. DMT lasts for 15 minutes about. If you just quick, straight, 15-minute it lasts. So if everyone was taking DMT at the same time and experienced the same thing, wow. Where could we take this? Everyone Cali's already tripping. Yeah, I know, you fucking voted for dumb fuck. What's his name? If everyone's tripping, do you think it would connect to human consciousness? That's what I've thought that many times. If we are all, because all it is a different vibration of frequency. As I said before, like everything is frequency. And if you can tap into a frequency that everyone else is on, then yeah, we'll all be feeling the same thing. Like I feel that when I had experiences, like, and I'm thinking if everyone could do this at the same time, we could all be on the same path and know exactly what's going on and feeling that we could turn this around. Because the people who want to control us don't want, oh wow. The people who want to control us, like WEF and all these bullshit organizations, these governments and all shit, they don't want you taking these things because it questions the narrative and it questions them. And you can't control a population like they're trying to do, as we've seen for the last few years, if everyone is questioning them. You remind me of that movie Contact. I fucking love Contact. They did a parody of Contact in Rick and Morty. That was funny. But I love Contact. Like, if you think, okay, Contact's more, all these movies and stuff, this is more material talking, because what she says in Contact is a very interesting idea. She said, and that's something I've thought about too, if you take every single galaxy that exists in the universe, there's probably, just say there's 100 billion, just as the number. Say there's 100 billion galaxies, each with 100 billion stars. But let's not worry about that. If you just have 100 billion galaxies, if just one planet like us exists in an entire galaxy, just one planet in an entire galaxy of 100 billion stars, you would have 100 billion planets with life. 100 billion. Wow. So where is everyone? She knew what happened and they didn't believe what she experienced. That is exactly how I feel. Exactly how I feel every day. But I know there's people that have experienced what I have. So I know there's a lot of people, a lot of silent people that don't talk about what has happened. So yeah, I know how she feels. Yeah, because it's all up here, but it's actually out there. It feels like you're out there because, well, I actually was taken out there, not physically, but some capacity. Like my body didn't go, but my consciousness went there. That's how I can explain it. And I love the time dilation in that too, because it takes her trip a few hours as the static recording showed. But for them, it's like she just fell straight through the thing. And that's very interesting because in Interstellar, which Matthew McConaughey's in both. So Interstellar, I love that bit where they talk about relativity because they go to the planet which has the water, the massive, whatever the name was it Miller's or something? Every hour on that planet is 7 years back here on Earth. Now, if you think like that's true, that shit exists. There's also a Doctor Who episode that was really cool. I'm pretty sure it was the creation of the Cybermen. So they were right on the edge of a black hole. And the front end of the ship, and it was just stopped. It was just not moving. So the front end of the ship was closer to the back end of the ship. So what happened was when they were at the front of the ship, time would have been, so think of time 1-to-1, just as normal now. And further back down the ship, there was years would pass by the time you move through the elevator to get down the levels. So that's relativity. And if you can imagine that we here experience 1-to-1, because like 1 Earth day, 1 Earth year, let's work on years. So if you had 1 year here and you went to a planet like the one in Interstellar, but let's change it and make it even more different. 1 year here. Actually, I think it's better the other way around. So if you have so every hour there is 7 years here. Let's change it. Let's go. If you're living on another planet around a supermassive black hole, that every hour there is 100 years here. Could you imagine? This is why we haven't experienced any civilizations, because the amount of time that they have every year is a century here. So if they lived, so the amount of time evolution would take, if it took us 1 million years, just say, our million is going to be like 10 million for them. I don't know if that's right, but it's going to be a fucking long time. So the amount of time it's going to take for them to get where we are now, our planet might be fucking done by the time it happens. Or the opposite, we're at where we are now, but everyone else is already fucking dead. Because the universe has been around for 13.8 billion years. So it's had a lot of time for civilizations to rise and fall and planets to come in and out of being. But then you look at all the footage from those tic tacs and incidents and stuff from the military, and you're like, that is not human at all. And how Bob Lazar describes it is very interesting. So we use a propulsion system that pushes us because we push up into the sky or push the car that way. But what they do is turn face front and they use gravity to pull space to them. So they technically don't really move. They move space around them instead of moving to it. But it looks like they're moving to it. And then they have a gravity field around them so they don't actually get fucked up by the inertia. And if we could harness that energy, woof, who the fuck knows where we could be? Who knows where we could be? But let me just pull up a little. No, there we go. Let me pull up a little bit. For shows. Where's my shows? There we go. Ancient Apocalypse. Which one was the one where they did Göbekli Tepe? No, that's the Bimini Road. That was cool though. Oh, all the ancient. That's right. There are ancient maps from around the world that are that were like made in the 1500s. Made in the 1500s. I just want to pull up an image of it. I just want to pull up an image of the map. And then there's all these fucking scientists back in the day saying, oh, no, there's no way it could have been this. But now they've got all this evidence. And look at all that. Look at those fucking accurate maps. Very accurate maps. I want to pull up the Piri Reis map because that's one of my favorite. The Orontes Finis is good. So that's what the Bimini Road, they reckon, would have looked like. And it would have sat... This is just probably the foundation of whatever it was. Because it's just huge stones. So I think it would have been like maybe a harbor or a port or something where they stored ships maybe. Because we've seen that before. Where in like Rome and stuff. See, that's what it would have looked like. But I want to pull up... Yeah, there's Sherma. Fuck with. I want to find the... Here we go. So here's these maps that should not, exist as they do. And they claim, the Piri Reis, who made it in the 1500s, claims he got them from older source maps, get this, from the Library of Alexandria. So let's, when was, okay. What year was Library of Alexandria done? So 48 BC. So there were things that were taken out of the library either before or as it was being burned down. Unfucking real how much we lost in that. So if you look at this was in the 1500s. That is the coast of South America perfectly. And it goes down. I won't play the audio, and it goes down. Look, there's Africa. There's the west coast of Africa. And then there's the east coast of South America, Brazil. And it goes all the way down to Antarctica, which no one knew existed until the 1800s. So this is 300 or something years before Antarctica existed. And there's the Bimini Road off the coast of Florida. And look at Florida. It's not what it looks like today because I don't know if you can see the cursor. Actually, let me go live on the other end so I can see if you can see the cursor. I don't know if you can, but Florida's just above it. No, you can't. So Florida's just above it on the left. And it didn't look like it does today. There was more land around that area. Oh, yeah. Rome probably has a lot in the Vatican. Probably. But they're not going to show anyone because they want to keep their bullshit history together. Because everyone knows that the Vatican hid Nazis and helped them escape Germany because Italy was on their side. So they don't want these documents released because it's going to expose them more. And saying the church helped the Nazis escape. Yeah, we fucking know that. So look, what the fuck is that? That's that's in South America or something. There's Africa, but these weird looking creatures, man, are on maps from the 1500s, which are taken from the Library of Alexandria, which means these are from at least 2,000 years ago. Which means people older than 2,000 years ago were mapping the world down to Antarctica. Which means they already knew that America... Oh, Jesus Christ, a dog person and a cat. Yeah, there's very strange things like Therianthropus, which are encountered in altered states. Now, let me see if you can see the whole thing, because on my end, you can see the whole thing, which is good, because on my end you can't. So you can see what's highlighted there is all the way down. South America is connected to Antarctica, which shouldn't be known at the time this was made. Keep everything in one place, and if that one place gets destroyed, you lose everything. Yeah. But these days, everything's on hard drives. So if you had a cataclysm now, you would need to wait to be able to get electricity again, to be able to power up some hard drives, to be able to know what happened. But what I was going to talk about was, I'll get to Göbekli Tepe, because what language would they have had? Yeah, so there's no, in this, they talking shit about, there's no way they would have known this. They just turned it sideways. And there's Antarctica there, Terra Australis. Now, they called it Southern Land then because back then it was called the Southern Land. But Australia, when it was rediscovered, was actually known as Terra Australis. I don't know if you know that. They also called it, they declared it Terra Nullius, which that's Australian history. You don't need to go into that. But Terra Australis was what Australia was called when they first found it, the Southern Land. That's why it's called Great Southern Land. And it means, because there's Terra Nullius, which means vacant land, which is, yeah. And they also called it New Holland in the beginning. It was called New Holland. Terra Australis, Latin. Yeah. Ancient world was seafaring. Phoenicians. Oh, yeah. Vikings reached Canada. Yeah, but we're talking about 10,000, 12,000 Ice Age people. We're talking about thousands and 10,000 years ago. Fuck. That was what I want to say. Oh, yeah. So there's actually a story that the Egyptians crashed one of their boats up in the Central Coast in Australia. It's like a few hours from me. There's a story written on a massive stone up there in the Central Coast. And it talks about how they traveled to Australia. The Egyptians traveled to Australia and they crashed their boat. And I'm pretty sure someone who was an actual scribe had it written, because there are very interesting ways that they did the carvings and the hieroglyphs. So it's not normal hieroglyphs. So they think it was someone who knew how to write, but wasn't a full scribe who knew every single way to write correctly. Because there's a few alterations in the carvings that don't actually, or there's a different way to say things. So that's what they said. But the story is they crashed the boat. They had to sail, or they had to somehow get inland. They met up with some indigenous people that helped them for a while. And it says someone is actually buried there, which is crazy. Could you imagine if an Egyptian priest or someone was buried in Australia? That's the story. I actually thought about going out there at some point, but it's apparently difficult to find, because once you get into the bush up in the coast, it's pretty dense. So it is findable, but I'm just going to have to work around how I can pinpoint it first before I get there and start walking around for hours and not find it. But I've thought about going there and taking some photos and videos, which would be cool. So this is, so that's what it would have looked like. 18,000 BC. That's when the map details what it looked like. So if in 18,000 BC, the map looks like that, that means this map that he was copying, which he said was badly damaged already when he saw it, is from 20,000 plus years ago, which blows the mainstream idea out of the water. Gone. 20,000 years ago, they were mapping the world. So I don't think it's that far-fetched, because we have solo sailors that go in tiny boats and they can sail around the world. You're telling me someone who was built on the stars in astronomy wasn't able to calculate where the hell they were going across the sea? We know that there's an ancient DNA signal between South Americans and and Melanesians, which is like kind of Australian Aborigines, and above that, just north of that, because that was all connected as well. Australia was connected to Asia up north. So there's a DNA signal between Australian Aboriginals and South Americans in some tribes. How the fuck is that possible if they walked through a land bridge from north to south? No, they would have gone south to north and traveled. And we know, like, Moana's a great movie for that, because it shows that people, the island nations, were all seafaring, and that was only a few hundred years ago. So think of what we could have done back then. Unreal. I want to bring up Göbekli Tepe because that is something crazy. Look at this. There's a fucking shark built into the reef, carved out of the reef, and it's still there today. How long ago did they do that? Nuts. The pyramids are connected. There is no doubt that the pyramids are connected. And where the story lines up, so they call it Kukulkan or Quetzalcoatl, which is the feathered serpent, which is very. Everyone around the. I should grab the book. There's a book I have from when I was a kid, like when I was a little kid. So we've known about it. We've just never put the dots together that they're all connected. Because I have a book. It's a big picture book and stuff, but it also has a lot of like text about what happened. And there's a whole part of it where it goes through the origin stories of every single like people, different hundreds of people. And every single one of them talks about a giant flood or a great snake. Where does that come from? Like, how it cannot be a coincidence that every single civilization or every single continent, every people of every continent has a similar story, that a great flood occurred and someone came on a snake or serpent or a ship to teach them the ways of the gods or the stars, or someone helped them. Every single culture in the fucking world, there's no way that that's coincidence. No way. No fucking way. That's a crazy one. the Scablands in America, like the amount of water that went through there is. Legacy of the Sages. I think this is the one. Yes. This is the one. So this is in Göbekli Tepe. Like that's an ancient, yeah. That's where they think civilization started. But then you get to Göbekli Tepe. Look how they carved that. Look at this. This is amazing. The Dead Sea Scrolls. You want to talk about the Dead Sea Scrolls? Were hidden in a cave in Qumran. And they weren't found until pretty recently in modern times. So we have story. Yeah, but that's so fucking weird, because those stories were hidden deliberately so they were not destroyed by the church at the time, because they were stories about alternate lives of Jesus and alternate stories of Jesus at the time. Because there's the book of Mary was in that, book of Judas, all these other alternate books in the Bible that should have been in there that were taken out and protected because they didn't want the church at the time to destroy them. Because the church was built on Jesus was divine and not human, but the Gospel of Mary is kind of like has ideas. The Gospel of Mary is the craziest fucking thing I think ever, because 3 of the main ideas in Buddhism right here are found in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. What? I have a real idea that Jesus went to India or Nepal, because they have records of someone who actually went there with a certain type of name that was different than anyone at the time. And they said, yeah, he came here and he learned from us and then went back. Like Buddhism talks about ignorance, desire, and basically darkness. But those 3 things are referenced in the Book of Mary: ignorance, desire, and darkness. And it's like the 3 main poisons in Buddhism are ignorance and desire. Fuck me dead. Like, how are you fucking... There's a different word for it. They call it... They call it something else in that book. Yeah, see, they use different names too: greed, hatred, delusion, but it's like ignorance. But it's by name, the Book of Mary, and in Buddhism. It's like, fuck off. How are they not connected? The teachings of Jesus are not fucking Jewish at all. At all. And you listen to what he's saying, he's like, we need to be one with, fucking, there's no, he's 100% a Buddhist. Or at least some form of it went into his ideas that he communicated across. 100%. And then we get Council of Nicaea, the church wanting to fucking corrupt it. Yeah, whatever. Fuck that. Fuck that. This shit right here is what our whole history is. This right here. Look at that carving. That is some weird animal, man. Not from around there. And it's from 9,600 BC, 11,600 years ago, just after or around the same time as the major cataclysm that destroyed everything. I want to show one particular pillar, because it's pillar 43, I'm pretty sure, and it shows like this is the actual the site. So it's based into the hill. Oh yeah, there's also very interesting stuff here. See the hands? It's right there. There's hands that are covering the front like this. That image and symbolism is on so many other things. You know, get the moai in Easter Island, which I've got photos of for myself when I went to the British Museum. There are so many different like carvings of this in different places around the world. There's got to be some connection. Ancient Apocalypse. This is called Ancient Apocalypse. And his book, the ones I would recommend, Magicians of the Gods, for this has so much more detail. And America Before. America Before has a lot of detail. And there's a lot that I had to skip through because there is so much evidence in America for ancient mounds, structures, everything, that there's just too much to actually physically read in it. So I skipped a few because there's just so much. It's unreal. But I want to get to pillar 43. This one right here. So this right here is what they've determined is actually a time capsule. So right in the middle, you see that circle, and you look at that, and that's the sun. So if you look at that as the sun and the constellations around the sun at the time it happened, it tells you exactly the time they're speaking about. And it points to that time in history when the comet impacted at 11,600. And that's what it looks like. And there's even more of it underground. It's crazy. Like, look at the detail. I'm pretty sure this is a history museum that was buried so we can decode it later and understand our history. Without this, we're completely lost. So I'm glad we have it. Magicians of the Gods, Ancient Apocalypse, this one, and America Before, The Key to Earth's Lost Civilization. There you go. Magicians, Ancient Apocalypse is a show, and America. Oh, sorry, Before, not Before. And this guy here, the Earther Man, this guy was uncovered in Sanliurfa, that region, Turkey. And he's got that same hands around the waist, around the belly. It's fucking, yeah, that's everywhere. And that's what's underground. So they've only excavated like one small section of it. And there's all that under there. Like, if they excavate all of that, could you imagine the detailed history that they could get from this? Oh, unreal. And what were they trying to tell us? Well, we know there was impact from the sky that came around from this area. And this is Karahan. This is the first time that any film crew has gone to this place. And this place is interesting too, because it shows some weird head with a serpent at the back. And that is shown everywhere. And they believe that it is a depiction of a comet. So they're trying to tell us that something came out of the sky with a tail, and the comet looks exactly like that. I'm trying to find the image. It's right there. They're going to show it right there. Right there. So it's a face that looks like a snake with like a body of a snake. And it's exactly like, look at the head, look at the neck. It like bends back. So I believe that's the depiction of the comet that came and destroyed everything. It's unreal, man. Like the way they carved that out. You're telling me that people 11,600 years ago that were hunter-gatherers that didn't know how to make anything and just didn't even have agriculture. They built this? Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Looks like a snake's head. Exactly. A revolution in technology. Because they weren't doing that back then. And these are the stories. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit because these are the crazy stories that they tell that detail what happened. No. So I think that's symbolism, just to say he came from the sea. Because if you look at depictions in, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's Samaria, but they have a dude that has a fish. It's like a fish costume. So I think it's representing that he came from the water or the sea as fish do. Because then you've also got the South Americans saying that there was a man, it was Kukulkan really, Quetzalcoatl came from the sea on a boat that had no paddles or no oars. How does a boat move with no oars? It's got to be mechanical, right? Something mechanical. Otherwise, it would have had to use wind. But I'm pretty sure they had some other taught us how to do these things. Why are we dismissing all these ancient stories as myth and just fanciful stories? Like, look at these. Look at all these things. They're holding bags. What? The Mayans, the Olmecs, everyone's holding these bags. So what are they saying? Is that a gift? Are they giving the gift of knowledge to humanity? Is that what they're saying? Someone with, look at this. He's got a snake on his head and he's in like sitting really weird, like he's in a contraption handing a bag of what? What is in that bag? That's what I want to know. Bag of mushrooms. And this chick was talking about the alignments of the stars and how it changed over time. So they built many monuments because look at that. There you go. Hands over the front again. It's all based in symbolism. Fucking cunts. Trying to find the fucking spot. Taking off. I'm trying to find the spot where it is. I'm not sharing it, you dog. Hurry up. Anyway, let me watch it myself and tell you what date it was. Four. Shows that one. All right, so still not back. What a joke. Hey, there we go. All right. All right, I did have the stream because I thought that might happen. So I'm just going to tell you when it happened. I'm going to listen to it myself. He's got it. He's got it. When was it? $10,900 to 10,800 BC. So that's pointing to the time where the first destruction happened. 12,900, 12,800 years ago. So it's pointing to the time when the first cataclysm happened, because it was the first one at 12,800, and then it took another, and that was to another 1,200 years, so 11,600, where the second one happened, and then the Ice Age ended. So they're telling you the time period that everything went to shit. And I know that they've done this before. So what happened was when they built the Hoover Dam, I'm pretty sure, they put into it, they put into it the date with stars. They put Alcyone in the middle and put the stars around it. I'll see if I can pull that image up. Star date Hoover Dam. What is that? 26,000-year-old monument. What the fuck? No, that's the one I want. So this is what they did. I'm pretty sure this is the Hoover Dam when they built it. So they have this image right there. So if anyone in the future came across it and there was no language to decipher, but they've written it in English, so it's going to be, the only way that they could see that is look at the stars around it. But thinking about how they did it with the sun in Göbekli Tepe, I think that would have been maybe a better idea to do that here. Because they're not going to, if a future civilization comes across this and doesn't know what Alcyone means, then they might be able to find it from the stars there. But if they don't know what that means and what that star is, it's going to be tough to define. But I'm just saying, it's not like it's too far-fetched to put a star date into things because we've done it now. yeah. Anyway, I don't know where else I'm gonna fucking go with this. I got Nutella sitting next to me. I might have Nutella. I'm gonna watch. I might watch some of this again. Fucking so ridiculous. Oh shit! We got breaking news. Now, I watched one episode of the new show where Chris Hemsworth's in the Disney Plus show. But it says on IGN, Chris Hemsworth is taking a break from acting following Alzheimer's revelation. So what happened was it showed that he has a couple of genes that increase his propensity for Alzheimer's in older age. So that's interesting. He's going to take a break. That's good. He's done enough movies at the moment. He's done enough Marvel movies at the moment, I reckon, to keep him going. And just do your own thing, man. So a recent episode of Limitless, which is a show on Disney Plus, revealed he's genetically predisposed to develop Alzheimer's. It's a strong indication. Okay. Interesting. So he's got 2 copies of the APOE4 gene. I think they call it the APOE4. Wow. He will be taking a break. Yeah, good, because people didn't like Love and Thunder, and I don't think they really want another one. Plus, he's done so many at the moment. Just let it go, man. Do your own thing. I want to watch the rest of that show, though, because the first episode, I was like, oh, okay. When you see people who they really are, like especially actors, it's like, oh wow, you're an actor. You're not really what you look like all the time on a movie. His character's now a fat joke. No, I don't. I know a lot of people think that, but I don't see it as a fat joke. I see it for what it was, what they were trying to say there. Only because I've lived it. I know what they were doing. Oh, shit. Henry Cavill's Superman return plans are reportedly put on hold. Interesting. Oh, yeah. So next week, the FIFA World Cup will be starting. And I will probably stream some games. I know I want to watch the Australian games. It's going to be... The first one's going to be interesting. It's going to be at 6 a.m. on Tuesday or Wednesday here. The second game is on at 9:30 at night here. And then the other game's on at 3 in the morning, I think. So look out for some World Cup streams. We'll just watch the game and talk shit. Oh, she fucking wrecked him. That's funny. Lauren Chan just wrecked that dude. Talking about the jab and Twitter employees. Fucking hilarious. All right, well, fuck, this is going for nearly 3.5 hours. We got to watch a bit of that. Unfortunately, YouTube is asked ho. Elon, please buy YouTube and let us watch fucking shows so we can break them down, you dog. But spoiler alert, Freedom Fridays. All right, so what else have we got? I don't think anything much else. I enjoyed Wakanda Forever. Oh, there's a new Indiana Jones image. He looks old as shit. Doesn't want to be there. I wouldn't want to either if Kathleen Kennedy was running that fucking mob. Enjoy my ramblings. Lol, thank you. Thank you. I wish I could have streamed in Vegas, but the phone I had, like the reception I had at the place where I was, it just didn't work. Because I would have done some high streams. I would have fucking gone deep, man. I would have gone well deep on some ancient lore in, you know, interdimensional aliens. Alex Jones style, man. But for now, I'm going to go eat. And yeah, gang. Thank you, everyone who is here and who was here. And we'll see you on Full Aussie tomorrow night, I guess, with those guys. Oh. Don't lie, Doritos. You loved it. You love Wakanda Forever. You loved it so much.
You can put your finger in it.
Oh, Steph. All right, people.
So,
Good night, folks.
Oh my God.
Sucked in, Mara. Where's my bye-bye? Where's me outro? I think I'll get a new one. Wakanda Forever is trash. Nah, bro. You're fucking trash. Your state's trash. How about that? Your governor's trash. Go fuck yourself. Have a good one, guys. I will see you later.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
Damn, fuck! God! Damn it, Jeremy!
Rage against the dying of the light.
No! God! Fucking